highlights.
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio. And you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Covino and Rich, the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
95.7 The Game is proud to be introducing the inaugural Bay Area Host Committee Impact Awards, presented by PNC Bank, celebrating those driving change in the Bay Area. We congratulate Kathy Adams, President and CEO of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce and winner of the Women's Confidence Award.
This award is humbling because you don't do the work in mind to be recognized. You do the work because you care about people.
Stay tuned this month as 95.7 The Game celebrates all of these prestigious Bay Area Host Committee Impact Award winners.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is your college football postseason update, presented by Factor. Eat like a pro. College postseason drama is heating up, and this weekend powerhouse programs delivered when it mattered most, with top seeds punching their tickets and surviving must-win matchups to keep their championship hopes alive. As the playoff picture tightens, every drive, every decision, every moment matters. Just like the athletes leaving it all on the field, Factor meals fuel performance with pro-level nutrition delivered to your door, ready when you are. Factor. Eat like a pro.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
It's time for the kickoff show.
What a win for the 49ers!
It's Sunday, and we're locked in on the red and gold.
What a run by George Kittle!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laughing Monk Bar and Grill here in Santa Clara, the place where the 49ers are going to take on the Seattle Seahawks today, Saturday. I know they said Sunday, but it's Saturday, and they're the only show on tonight. This is going to be an epic matchup. I'm excited. I know you Niner fans out there are excited. I know the Seattle Seahawks fans are excited. So much riding on this game tonight for 49er fans, for 49er Hope faithful, and so much riding on for the Seattle Seahawks. Both these teams have an opportunity tonight, winner take all, meaning that the San Francisco 49ers, if they take care of business tonight, the NFC Championship, the road to the Super Bowl, comes through Santa Clara. Woo! How fired up are these Niner fans, and how fired up are the San Francisco 49ers players? They have to be just licking their chops, chomping at the bit. And also, when you look at the Seattle Seahawks, they have earned the right to play for the NFC Championship game, to come through Seattle, and the only time they would have to leave, that's to come out here to Santa Clara, for the Super Bowl if they take care of business. So both these teams, so much riding on it, but I think the San Francisco 49ers, Niner fans, I think they have an edge tonight because it's about if you win tonight, you stay home. You get a week to get Trent even healthier. You get a week to get Kittle healthier. You get a week to get Run DMC. You know how hard McCaffrey plays this game. You see how beat up and how tired this guy has been. But he's still Mr. Steady, Mr. Consistent. Christian McCaffrey, he's always wanting the ball. He never wants to come out of the game. So this bye week could be huge for the San Francisco 49ers. But it all starts tonight by taking care of the Seattle Seahawks. And who's this game going to be focused on tonight? And we'll get into detail when Evan, my man, gets here, and we'll start getting in, breaking down the X's and O's. But I'm telling you, it starts at the quarterback position. What offensive line is going to protect their quarterback? What offensive line is going to give their quarterback the time and the ability to look downfield, to go through their reads, to find the open receiver? Because you've seen Brock Purdy, even off a schedule. He's mobile. He's agile. He can get out of harm's way. I like what Brock Purdy has brought to this San Francisco 49ers. Mac Jones, like I said earlier, he was unbelievable for those 8 games, holding it down till Mr. Purdy comes back. And I'm telling you, after Purdy got healed and after the turf toe has healed up, you've seen the difference in the two quarterbacks. Not that Mac Jones couldn't throw the ball just as good and not as efficient. I think the biggest separation between those two, it comes down to athletic ability. You watch Mac Jones in the pocket. You watch him when he has to get off schedule and have to move and scramble. Can he do it? Yes, but he looks uncomfortable. When you see Purdy, when a play breaks down and he has to be off schedule, his ability to make defenders miss, his ability to give the dead leg, his ability to still throw the ball, his ability to move outside of the pocket, it's a problem. It's a problem for defenders. It's a problem for linebackers. It's a problem for safeties. Because when Brock Purdy escapes and gets to the outside, now you make the linebackers and you make the defensive backs, you make them have to commit to coming up and either dropping a linebacker that's sneaking out. Safety has to either drive down to stop him from picking up a first down. So now you have those dig routes and those over routes that's coming open. It puts the defense in the bind. So I really expect tonight that you're going to see Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan continue to move the pocket to get him out of the trenches, to get him away from those big guys. Because we know Seattle has one of the better defenses. But when you can get Brock Purdy outside the pocket and give him some room outside to operate, he becomes deadly. He becomes even more lethal because of the fact his legs and his ability to run. So it's going to be interesting just to see what Seattle what kind of game plan they have to say these defensive ends, they have to stay home and stay in their lane, because if you let Brock boot and if they don't stay home and he gets outside, he can be a nightmare. And so what does that mean for the San Francisco 49ers run game? It means a lot. Because when you have a quarterback that can move the pocket, that can do more than just stay in the pocket and be a pocket quarterback, but that can run, you know what the kind of offense Kyle Shanahan wants to run. It's that outside zone, that outside scheme. So with that handing the ball off to McCaffrey and he's running stretch, or if he's running the pitch and he's running outside, the defensive end has to come down the line, because you know McCaffrey, he's looking to cut it back. And if the defensive end stays home because he's trying to honor Purdy, because Purdy can keep it, then you create a running lane. So this is a good cat and mouse game that I think Shanahan's going to do early, and I think they're going to do it often. If that's the ability to get McCaffrey going. If you can get McCaffrey going and get him to be able to run to the perimeter, the backside becomes the front side, and now your defensive ends, have to close. They have to close, and they have to close hard because they know McCaffrey's going to cut back, and that's when you see Mr. Purdy pull that ball, and now he can boot, and that's when you can have the tight ends do the drag routes. That's when you have the deep overs, and that's when you get Purdy outside the pocket, and he can cause even more damage. So those are just some of the things that I'm looking to see tonight, far as for the offense. Because if you just say, hey, Mr. Purdy drop back in a 7-step drop, I don't know if the San Francisco 49ers can hold up for 5 seconds or 4 seconds because somebody's going to get beat up front. But if you have the running game going well and you stay ahead of schedule and play complementary football, that's how you dictate offense and not let the defense dictate what you do. So how is that going to unfold tonight? We know only time will tell at kickoff. But right now, that, to me, will be Kyle Shanahan's game plan. It's setting up the run. It's setting up the pass by running the stretch, by running the zone plays, by getting some boots. Now you can get the receivers. Now you can get the receivers, Jennings, those guys, big hands, great catch, great range. The Bournes to come open on those drags. Tight ends also coming open on those drags. So that is going to be imperative offensively to make sure the running game is going, because if the running game is working well for the 49ers, I'm telling you, the pass game will work. If the running game is not going to work, the San Francisco 49ers can have a long night, because that means that the Seattle has shut down the run game and it's made the San Francisco 49ers one-dimensional. When you saw last week, the Chicago Bears, they couldn't stop the running game. You had both running backs for the Niners running the ball with consistency, getting in third and short, winning on first and second down, not playing complementary football, making Purdy being 3rd and 3 or 3rd and less, 3rd and 2 or 3. Your percentage goes up drastically to convert on 3rd down. That's why you saw last week a 49er team that just went out there offensively. Every time they touched the ball, Mr. Purdy had that offense humming. You saw the Bears, though, offensively were humming. The 49ers had problems on defense. Just looking at the defense side of the ball as we dissect and go kind of on the defense and just kind of touch a little bit on the defense, it's going to be interesting to see how the 49ers defense holds up, because Seattle's game plan, it's going to be simple. They're going to say, look, let's run the ball. Let's create a new line of scrimmage. Let's play big boy football. The 49ers, they know what Seattle's doing, and it's going to be interesting. See if Robert Saleh has any more magic left, because last week it wasn't that the defense won and wasn't that this 49ers defense was stout, but that last 4 seconds when they had to be great and when they had to be stout, they did what they needed to do to preserve that victory. So you don't got to be great all night, but you got to be great when the game's on the line and it's still yet in the game is still yet in the balance, is still to be won. You have to find a way. Somebody has to find a way to make a play. And that's what the San Francisco 49ers defense did last week. They made a play when it was needed most. They held them to 3, didn't allow them to get 7. The 49ers offense capitalized to pick up 7. Chicago had the ball, remaining of the game, and time ran out. So that was the difference in this game. So this is going to be no difference to me. I think you're going to see two teams that are going to be physical. Seattle, you know what they can do. They can run the ball. They can get after you. They got an offensive line that can run. They want to run block. They want to grind it. They want to turn this game ugly. They want to keep the ball away from the San Francisco 49ers. That's what Seattle's going to try to do. I don't think Seattle's going to try to strike and think about the big plays. We'll take some shot plays, absolutely. But they want to grind this game. They want to pound the ball. They want to beat the San Francisco 49ers front 4 up. They want to make them tackle. They want to play ball control, manage the clock, keep the 49ers offense on the bench because they know how high explosive and how explosive the 49ers offense can be. So this is going to be what Robert Saleh and this defense, can you come after the quarterback? Get him off his spot. You have seen him at times throw crucial interceptions. You've seen him at times get sacked. Can they make Sam Darnold become Sam I Am? Can they put him back where he's getting a little frustrated and he's not throwing the ball well because he hears footsteps? That is going to be big. It's going to be big for the 49ers to win on those first and seconds down, to not give up 4 or 5 yards of crack. They have to solidify this defense. They have to find a way to win on first and second down so they can play complementary football throughout these 4 quarters. That's what it's going to take defensively. It's going to take another heroic effort by this defense that bend but don't break, that get in the red zone and give up 3 instead of giving up 7. That's going to be what it's going to take if the 49ers want to get out of here tonight with the victory in front of its home crowd. I'm excited. I think another part of the game that, we'll get into, and we'll get into a little bit more too. I always talk about offense counts as a third, defense counts as a third, and special teams counts as a third. Field position is going to be a premium tonight. The punt team has got to make sure they punt. When you punt the ball, you got to cover. You got to change the field position. Tonight is like, hey, look, field position is going to be premium. You got to cover every blade of grass. If you're on special teams, you got to say, we can't give up big kick returns. We can't kick the ball off and let Seattle run the ball back out to the 35, and now they only need 25 to 30 yards to be in field goal range. Those type of plays can't happen. On kick punt return, you got to make sure you're the forcers. You got to double those forcer guys. You got to make sure you set up those nice returns because special teams field position can win games. Flipping the field is huge, especially in a game like this with so much at stake. The stakes are high. Everyone wants to see what's going to determine the outcome of the game. It's the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers, if you talk about just a team that has been playing out of their mind and playing above what everyone thought that they could play at, it's the 49ers. You take a look at this team and what they've been able to accomplish. You're talking about Nicky Bosa, one of the elite pass rushers in the National Football League, one of the best pass rushers in this league, was Defensive Player of the Year at a time. You're talking about Fred Warner, one of the most cerebral linebackers in this league, a guy that can direct, get guys lined up the right way, make sure the defense is on schedule. You're talking about you don't have 2 of your captains, and look at what they've been able to do. You look on the other side of the ball, and you talk about just what this team has been able to overcome. It just doesn't happen in the National Football League. You're talking about a quarterback, your starting quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, was out for 8 games. You had a backup guy come in and hold it down and hold serve until your quarterback was ready to return in Pro Bowl fashion, in all pro fashion, came back early against Jacksonville, wasn't ready, went back to the bench, and look how Mac Jones was able to keep this team relevant and keep them in the hunt. Even think about this. Think about this team. Losing Kittle, a Pro Bowl, future Hall of Famer, out for 5 to 6 weeks, and still this team was able to win games. Think about the 49ers having 2 receivers. Deebo Samuel, what he's been to this organization. He's probably going to be a San Francisco great, going to the Ring of Honor one year. And think about Brandon Ayuk, your number 1 and number 2 receivers. Both those guys are not on the team. You're talking about having 2s and 3s and 4 receivers. And look what they've been able to do, weather this storm, and still be playing for meaningful games and playing for the NFC, an opportunity to represent, to have home field throughout the playoffs, to win the NFC in a year with this many injuries. This, Evan, is unheard of.
It simply has. And the fact that the Niners are in this game, I don't know how you can't be excited about the opportunity that lies before the San Francisco 49ers. It's not just the fact that you get the 1 seed. It's not just the fact that you control your own destiny to stay here to potentially play at Levi's Stadium for a Super Bowl, but you get the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know about you, Lo, but the last time the Niners had a game this big against Seattle was 2019.
Yeah.
It was up in Seattle. Dre Greenlaw makes the play at the goal line, a game he wasn't even supposed to be in because Quan Alexander was the injured linebacker. Greenlaw steps in, makes the name for himself. That football game, to me, was the turning point in that rivalry. It had been one-sided. Seattle had been dominant in Seattle. Niners hadn't beat them up north since 2011. They had owned them. The Legion of Boom, Super Bowl champs, all the rest. The Niners won that game to get the 1 seed eventually to go to the Super Bowl, and since that point, they have largely dominated this rivalry. It's been one-sided, I think, in my opinion, really up until this season. Brock Purdy has been successful in Seattle. The Seahawks have not had what the Niners have had the last several seasons, which is trips to the NFC Championship game, trips in 2023 to the Super Bowl, and now here in 2025, in 2026, mind you, Happy New Year, the Niners have a chance to take the 1 seed in a rivalry renewed. I'm seeing Seahawks fans. I'm seeing Niners fans galore. This is going to be an absolutely electric atmosphere, and I can't wait for this game.
Oh, no question, man. This atmosphere is already electric. You walk through, the Laughing Monk Bar and Grill, and you just see the Niner fans. You hear them yelling. They're giving away the sweaters. Matter of fact, I have mine right here. This place is rocking. Laughing Monk, this place is absolutely going off. I mean, this game tonight, when you think about some of the rivals that Seattle and the Niners have had, I remember that year. What year was it? Navarro Bowman blows out his knee. That great goal line stance.
Yeah.
He recovers the ball, but he fumbles. They say he's not. I think that should have been recovered by the Niners. Seattle goes on to win. If you think about these type of games, I think that's what this game is tonight. This is a game that's just like that. You want to say it's David and Goliath, but you can't because
not anymore.
The 49ers, they're real. They have went through and been battle tested. They've been in shootouts, found a way to win. They've been in low-scoring games, found a way to win. They've been in turnover-ridden games, found a way to win. This tonight is just going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a battle of will. It's going to be a battle of attrition. And to me, it's going to come down which team is going to make the least amount of mistakes. And like I was saying earlier, if you're just saying, hey, look, what does Seattle bring to what is the one thing that scares me most? It's the Seattle Seahawks just sitting there and running the ball and playing big boy ball. I think that's going to be their plan. That is going to be their calling card because they look at the San Francisco 49ers. They've been averaging, 4 or 5 touchdowns per game? The only way, how do you combat a high-power offense, is to keep that offense on the sideline. So tonight, I think Seattle is coming out with the mindset they're going to run the ball. I guarantee they got a number in their head, and it's 35 to 40 times a game. That's what they want to do.
Well, and over the last 6 weeks in which the Niners have been victorious, they've been perfect. Since Brock Purdy's come back, he has not dropped a football game. I think every team has looked at the Niners and said, that defense is what we got to take advantage of. The offense is high-powered. They're averaging 36 points per game over the last 6. We know that they can score. And so you're right. I think Seattle comes into this game saying, we got to control the clock. We got to control possession. We can't give away opportunities. And they will. Sam Darnold has given the ball away more times than not, especially throughout this season. I believe he has 17 turnovers. So the Seattle Seahawks, with the two-headed monster of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, that to me is going to be the biggest test for San Francisco. We know that they've held up against a rushing attack like Carolina. Last week in a Sunday night shootout, they held up against the rushing attack of the Chicago Bears. Overall this year, their rushing defense has not been as bad as advertised. They have been a bend but don't break defense. They almost broke last week, but they didn't. And so the fact that Seattle can go into this game and look at the Niners and say, we're going to try and win at the line of scrimmage, this is going to be the biggest test for the San Francisco 49ers because Seattle has imposed its will against teams like Houston, against teams like LA, against a lot of good, solid fronts. And the Niners have to be up for the challenge.
They really do. And it's going to start in the trenches. I think offensively, defensively, it starts in the trenches. And, yes, the Niners have shown that they can hold up. But how well have they held up? Last week you give up over 30 against a Chicago team that's high scoring and can get after you. But you bent, but you didn't break. When you needed to be great in that last 4 seconds, they were great. When they needed to be great right before that series, to give up only 3 instead of give up 7 allow the Niners to score, go down and score to get a 4-point lead, that was huge. So it put Seattle, it put Chicago Bears in a situation that they had to score a touchdown to win. That's playing complementary football when you needed it most. So, yes, this is a game that, yes, people are saying, hey, look, the Niners defense, I want to see what Robert Saleh is going to do. I want to see how are they going to, or are they going to come out in a 4-man front, 5 down? What are you going to do? Because I really believe that Seattle is going to do exactly what you and I are talking about, is trying to play big ball and try to play keep away. You want to keep the San Francisco 49ers offense on the bench.
Absolutely, because they're a team that scores with the best of them, and they're a team that really, I think the biggest thing that San Francisco's done this season on both sides of the football, they did it week 1 against Seattle. They win on 3rd down. They extend drives on offense, and they constrict drives on defense. We know that they don't get a lot of sacks. We know that they don't turn opposing teams over a whole lot. The first week in Seattle, it really came down to Brock Purdy making that jump ball pass to Tonjes in the corner of the end zone, and Nick Bosa, who unfortunately is out for the season and is no longer with this team here today, at least on the sidelines.
Right.
He made the big play to strip the ball from Sam Darnold. You and I were watching that game. Yep. Seattle was driving. They might go down and score, but Nick Bosa made the play. My question is going to be, who on the defense is going to step up to make that kind of play?
Right.
And it might be a fumble strip. It might be a turnover. It might just be getting a sack on a big 3rd down, because this is a team that hasn't shown consistently that they can get pressure on the quarterback, and that's where, to me, to your point, Lo, Robert Saleh has to come into play. It's going to be timely. It's going to be creative. He's got to get imaginative, because otherwise Sam Darnold, we know what he can do when he's got time in the pocket.
Yeah, we know what he can do, and it's going to be interesting because if you come out blitz too much and you don't get home, you're giving up a big play. You're asking too much of your secondary. So it's like you got to win. When Robert Saleh, he's going to be very optimistic, and he's going to blitz at opportune times. He's got to be dialed up. He's got to get that game flow going. When you talk about offense, and you watched last week, Shanahan was in a groove. Shanahan was in a play-calling groove. He had that thing smoking, and you got to see this defense get in a groove. You want to see Saleh and these guys on defense. You want to see them getting in a groove and get some of that swagger, like you're saying, where you're creating a 3rd and 15, or now it's, it's 3rd and 15 because you won on 1st and 2nd down, and they're 3rd and 15 and 3rd and 12. And at times last week, they had them in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, and they gave it up. You can't do that tonight. I think Seattle's defense is better. I think Seattle's just a better team than Chicago. I think they're more seasoned than Chicago. I don't necessarily think I know for sure that Sam Darnold is not as near as mobile as what you
Caleb,
had of Caleb. They ain't even close. Caleb is way more mobile, but I think he's maybe a little bit more cerebral. I think he can throw the ball a little bit. He knows so the biggest thing to me, can you find the way to fluster Sam Darnold, get him off his spot, make things happen, make him uncomfortable? Because, like you said, if you can make Sam Darnold uncomfortable, he will throw you the ball. He will give you an interception. So I want to see how Robert Saleh dials up. I want to see, can someone get home on a one-on-one up front? Do you have which lineman, which guy on the defensive front is going to step up, that's going to win their one-on-one matchup, that's going to get home, that's going to cause a 3rd and 12, a 3rd and 15, that it's no – now when you line up on 3rd down, it's not 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 1. That's going to be crucial tonight. And then on 3rd down, you got to get off the field. You got to make them punt. You can't have breakdowns in the secondary. And I want them to be more aggressive. You see them on a 3rd, sometimes 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13.
Yeah.
You see them sitting back and they're playing zone, and you don't get home, and you give the quarterback too much time to find those windows. You're asking your secondary, even though it's zone coverage, you're going to be covering. But if you let the quarterback hold the ball on zone on 3rd and long, sometimes they find a place and they find a window for it.
Well, and that was the key to success in week one. And this is something that I've been struggling with all week. It's like we got the build-up to the game. The Niners are going to fight for the 1 seed at home against Seattle. We knew this all the way back before the season. It could come down to week 18, not just for the 1 seed, but obviously for the best division in football being the NFC West. But are the 49ers a team that can beat the Seattle Seahawks twice in one season? That's what they're going to have to do.
Right.
They split with the Rams. They obviously took care of business against the Cardinals. But can they beat the Seattle Seahawks, a team that you and I have talked about all year long as being one of the 2 and especially top 3 best teams? I think the 3 best teams in the NFC might all be in the NFC West. It might just be the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. Eagles got a seat at the table for sure. There's a lot of teams vying for that spot. But right now, to me, the Niners have shown that they deserve to be in the conversation with those 2 other groups. The Rams have fallen off a little bit. Seattle's obviously the 1 seed right now with 13 wins, trying to get to Sam Darnold, number 14. But are the Niners up for the challenge today? That's something that we're going to find out altogether. We got you locked live up until 5 o'clock, Levi Stadium, kickoff, San Francisco and Seattle, a rivalry renewed, and we are live here at Laughing Monk Brewing, getting you set. Stop on by. We got the Dub City sweatshirts that we're going to be giving away.
City.
If you want to pop on by, have a beer. We got people in Bosa jerseys. We got people in Russ jerseys. We got people in Ricky Pearsall jerseys. We see Brock's all over the place, Montana's. This is what it's about. Week 18, a fight for the 1 seed, and Evan Giddings alongside Lorenzo Neal got you live right here at Laughing Monk Brewing. Sunnyvale, 1235 Oakmead Parkway. Come on by before the game. The shuttle will take you to and from. And come see if the Niners can get another home game here next week. Pardon me, in 2 weeks, because they're fighting for that bye. We'll be back after this, live on the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game after this.
It's the RV Mega Show and Sale, January 2nd through 11th at Cordelia RV Center. All 2025 models must go. All reasonable offers considered. Family-owned, top brands, and the best deals of the year. CordeliaRV.com. We do business with a handshake.
Tune in for Warriors Live today, presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Ugh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-880-1212. That's 800-880-1212. Again, that's 800-880-1212.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skryizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skryizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skryizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skryizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skryizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skryizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skryizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The real estate market feels more uncertain than ever. Homes are sitting longer, prices are falling. Have you inherited a home and want to avoid the stress and hassle? Call Wedgwood Homes first to discuss your options. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. Probate paperwork, multiple heirs, property taxes, repairs, and maybe even an existing mortgage. With Wedgwood Homes, there's no need to clean or clear out the house, and no repairs or updates. We buy as is and provide a reliable all-cash offer with no commissions, no hassle. The Wedgwood Homes team can guide you through the process with experts in probate, trusts, and shared inheritance. Wedgwood Homes' offer is firm. No last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. Close in as little as 3 days or on your timeline. Let Wedgwood Homes ease the process so you can help your family move forward. Call 415-888-9432 today for your free, no-obligation cash offer. That's 415-888-9432. 415-888-9432 or wedgwoodhomes.com, the Bay Area's trusted home buyer.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Now back to the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
Steven Risotto back in our Laughing Monk studios getting us set with some funky music. I kind of like this.
Me too. Look at my boy Steven throwing it down on the turntables.
Yes, sir. That's Lorenzo Neal. My name is Evan Giddings. We are live here at Laughing Monk. Don't worry. Don't be warded off by the rain. We got games inside. We got some prizes. We got great company. We got great food, a little hydration, and just a great setup for what's supposed to be a great game. I think like that. You like that! By the way, he actually helped the Niners out because even if they lose this game, the Niners will still, I believe, be locked into the 5 seed because Kirk Cousins took down the Los Angeles Rams.
What happened with that game? You and I, we thought about putting a house on the Rams. The Rams were playing.
It's a good thing we didn't.
They were playing for something. They just got motorboated. Stafford, did he lose MVP with that performance?
He might have.
Do you think they got to give it to Dre? I know we got 3 hours.
Yeah.
Do you think Dre May is just, you look at his strength of schedule, you can't blame him. It's whoever they played, he played. He played well. Is he getting it? Or do you look at Myles Garrett and say, okay, are they going to give it to a defensive player if he breaks this record? How do you think this thing shakes out?
I think this, if there was ever a year in recent memory to not have it turn into the quarterback award, I think this would be the year. And it's no disrespect to Drake May. They have an outside shot at the 1 seed. The Patriots, obviously, last year in his rookie season, not so great this year, propel themselves to a potential 1 seed on obviously a playoff berth. They win the AFC East. But I'm not just thinking about Myles Garrett, and you put this thought on my mind last week, because if the Niners win this football game, Christian McCaffrey will have touched the ball over 400 times.
Wow.
And he will have been the only constant on offense the entire season because the one guy who had been upright the entire year holding down the blind side, Trent Williams, goes down first play of the Sunday night game.
Right.
We know
right.
George Kittle's missed 5 games.
Right.
We know Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings have been in and out. The one guy on that offense, obviously the quarterbacks have been in and out too.
Right.
The one guy that's been solid for this team that has really been the catalyst for this offense, it's been number 23. And so I think to your point,
you think he should get some MVP votes?
He should get some votes. Absolutely.
I agree. I think he should. I think what he means to this team, and not just to this team, what McCaffrey means to the league. If you look at McCaffrey, what he was able to do in the passing game, he was getting 100 yards receiving, touching the ball, like you said. He was, 30% of the 49ers offense, or am I even higher?
He is responsible for the highest percentage of offensive yards of any team in football. So of the amount of yards that every single team, 32, has produced, he has the highest percentage of it of any team.
See, and
he's the offense.
He really is. And that's why I think that the league should take a serious look at McCaffrey for MVP. I think they should take a serious look at Myles Garrett, because I think they will too, because if you're not giving it to Stafford, I don't know if they're going to give it to a second-year player. I think that's going to be a situation where they're going to say, yeah, we could give it to him, but does it tarnish the brand? So these writers are going to say, hey, New England had maybe the worst, easiest schedule, but we haven't given it to a defensive player. Here's a record that's been here for years. 23 sacks, I don't care, 24 sacks, whatever. I think it's worth the conversation.
Well, and this is the thing, too. It's like it would be different if, I know Marino won in his second season when they went to the Super Bowl, but Marino reset passing records. Marino was doing things in the 80s that hadn't been done before as a quarterback.
Right.
Drake May, not trying to take anything away from him. He's been great this season. He's been sensational.
But Marino had no offense. Marino had no defense.
He was the offense.
Yes. Marino would throw the ball 40, 50 times a game. He was the offense. He carried that team. They had no defense at all. When you look at the Patriots, they do have defense. They can play a little defense. They have a decent running game. But Drake May, I'm not going to take anything away from the kid. He's done a phenomenal job this year, what he's been given. And he has, Rabel should be in that conversation. I think Shanahan, of course, Chicago Bears, and think Vrabel. Those are the 3 coaches that, and you look at Carolina. Should Carolina's coach be in the conversation? No, because they, even if they win, they didn't win big.
Yeah.
They barely snuck in the playoffs, only 9 wins. So I think the coaches that should be in, it's a 3 race. Vrabel, of course, Chicago's coach. You've seen what he's been able to do with the Chicago Bears, and Shanahan. And if you're talking about Shanahan, the reason why I think so highly of Shanahan is how he did it. How his team has weathered the storm, all the injuries and everything else, and he's still here, and he may be the number 1 seed. If they're the number 1 seed, I think it's going to be hard to not give Shanahan, Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and to wrap up that last point, the last guy to win in his second season, the MVP, was Lamar Jackson. That year he threw for 36 touchdowns. He ran for another, I believe, 10. And, another 7, but he had 1,200 yards on the ground, so he ended up with a total of 43 touchdowns. That was a record-breaking season in terms of running and passing. Again, it's historic, and I understand why that team also won 14 games that year. This year, to kind of bring it back to Shanahan, too, I think what McCaffrey and to your point, Myles Garrett has done, what they're doing is historical. A running back has never been asked to do this much at this age for his team, with his starting quarterback being out, being the sole reliance on offense, and also McCaffrey has not missed a football game this year. It'd be different if he had missed 1, missed 2, but his numbers are still great. He has been there every single game at a time in players' careers where they tend to take a little bit of a step back. He's taken a step forward, and he's been durable. Now to Shanahan, I think this. If the Niners win this game and get the 1 seed, I do believe Shanahan should at least be the runner-up. But to me, he's the coach of the year because it's been his finest hour. But I think that Shanahan is the kind of coach that the rest of the head coaches in the league, he has the most respect after this season. I'm not saying all-time right now going. Obviously, you got vets in the league, you got Super Bowl winners. But for what he's done this season, I think if you polled 32 head coaches and said, who has been the most impressive doing what you guys do, I think it has to be Kyle Shanahan. Like, he's the coach's coach this year.
He really has been. And you think about and the way in which he's done it. When you look at Kyle Shanahan and look at his track record and look what Kyle Shanahan, how he is coached, look the team that they're playing tonight. You think about the quarterback that's there. He came to San Francisco, Darnold, and resurged his career. He leaves, goes to Minnesota, and what did he say? He said, being around Purdy and Shanahan, it taught me how to be a quarterback. They prepared him for that moment. If Darnold doesn't come to San Francisco for a stint, is Sam Darnold the quarterback he is today? That's the crazy thing. So when you look at Shanahan, look at what he's been able to do. Look at Jones. Mac Jones comes in to a place he's thrust into the starting position because Brock gets hurt. And look at the way that he played and the way he delivered the ball. Look at like you talked about, the defense riddled with injuries. Shanahan, last 4 or 5 weeks, been scoring averaging over 30 points a game. Shanahan's got to be on a short list. He's got to be on a short list for Coach of the Year. I don't know how it can. It's either him, Ben Johnson, or it's going to be Vrabel. And to me, when you think about the way that the Niners had to do it, the schedule they played in probably the best conference in football, the 3 best teams in NFC, and you're talking about, I think that when you look at it like that, how could you not? When you look at Vrabel and New England Patriots had the weakest schedule, the easiest schedule. It's not their fault, but of any team, and they handled business. But that's got to play into consideration for this Coach of the Year.
Well, and that's the other part about this too. If you want to throw the schedule game in the Niners' face, by all means. But the Patriots have also had one of the easiest schedules in football, and they haven't had to deal with nearly the amount of turbulence that the Niners have. The Niners have had 8 games where a backup quarterback has started. Shanahan helped him play call 5 victories in those games. Vrabel has had his starting quarterback, his starting wide receivers, his tight ends, his defense. He's done an amazing job. And in fact, it makes me wonder why Tennessee ever let Vrabel go. But New England, to me, has been the team that clearly from the start, after week 1, in which they somehow lost to the Raiders, they have been the perennial favorites in the AFC. Even though Denver is right now occupying the 1, I could absolutely see the Patriots getting to the AFC Championship game, potentially the Super Bowl. The Niners, meanwhile, they have been, and we talked about it last week, and I still feel this way coming into this game because they are the betting underdog. They have been an underdog this entire year to where people have just been waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Right.
And that's why Kyle Shanahan, this would be a season to where if the Niners ended up 7-10 based on everything they did, people would be pissed. They wouldn't be happy. But there would be an excuse. And you could understand why Shanahan wasn't able to do what he has done with that kind of injuries, with the amount of roster change, with the lack of trades and influx of talent. You could understand it. But he said, no, that's not an excuse. We have an opportunity this season to do something special. And he, along with everybody else on that roster, 1 through 53, they stepped up when they could have laid down, and everybody would have understood why. That, to me, is why Kyle, he's got to be, he's my head coach, even if Vrabel's the guy who hoisted the award.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's always been the next man up. You're watching guys, you've got guys play, and I know people are driving in their car and still watching the game, and they're watching this, Tampa Bay and Carolina play, and just watching Baker Mayfield at times, that scramble you just saw, he steps in the pocket, he jumps up, does a jump pass, picks up this first down. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. Watching just the heart of Baker Mayfield, and you watch the way that he's dodging and making guys miss, and he still throws his jump pass. It's pretty incredible today, just what football means today, because you see teams, you watch them, the fight that's in, what's going on between Carolina and Tampa Bay, and what's going to happen in a couple hours when the Niners in Seattle. Just the fight, the extra grit, the extra crime that these guys are going to be performing tonight is just going to be pretty incredible. I think Shanahan is going to be in his bag of tricks. It's got to be one of his finest hours because he's going to be playing against a defense that it can get after you. He's going to be playing against a team that wants to beat you. This whole week, the mood has been tough for both these teams. Both these teams have heard so much noise. Both these teams have talked about what they're playing for. Both these teams know that, hey, look, one team saying, look, if we win the whole playoffs, everything, we got the 12th man, everything comes here. We just got to travel 1 week, and that's to San Francisco. It's only, an hour flight, hour and a half flight. It's quick. It's up and down. The Niners are saying, if we win, guys, we get a week break. We get to breathe for a week. We get a week to get rested. We get a week to get fresh. I just think, man, this game is so important tonight for both these teams, for the psyche, because it's going to be a tough-fought game. And if you the loser,
man,
I don't want to be them, because you got to go play the next week, and you're freaking saying it went from having a week off to saying let's line up and let's go play football. But you know what? Shanahan will have these guys ready to play, win, lose, or draw. But tonight, I'm just wanting to see what Shanahan, what Robert Saleh, what these players are going to do. I know it was a great game last week, and I said, God, I would like to see rewind that game, and hopefully we can see the same type of game. I want this game to be a blowout. I want the 49ers to jump on them quick and never let off and just beat up on them. But you can't. Seattle's not that type of team. You've watched Seattle. They know how to compete. Have they gotten shellacking this whole year? If you look at go through their schedule real quick,
not once.
They have found a way to fight back, even down double digits. They have been in every ball game.
Do you want to know the largest margin of defeat for the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah.
Week 1, 4 points by the San Francisco 49ers. That's the most they've lost a game by this year. And it obviously came down to the waning moments. They've lost by 3 points on a last-second field goal to Tampa Bay, and they lost on a last-second field goal to the Los Angeles Rams in a game in which their quarterback threw 4 picks. This is as complete of a football team as there is in the NFL. In fact, they might not have the high-powered offense the way that the Rams do, but with their defense, their special teams, adding Rashid Shaheed at the trade deadline, who's given them kickoff returns. They obviously have Jason Myers, who's a solid kicker. To me, this is the most complete team in the NFL. And I think this is why it's the best challenge for San Francisco to get them ready for the postseason, win or loss, is because, to me, the advantage that the Niners have had in their last 2 months is that against the majority of teams they've played, they've been the more complete team. Against Chicago, you saw it last week. Though the Bears could score with the Niners, they weren't wholly complete. And that cost them the last couple of points at the end of the game. This Seattle Seahawks team is more complete than San Francisco. And so they're going to have to find different ways. You know, you were talking about it last week, and I think that maybe it is a trick play. You know, maybe they do have to get imaginative. Maybe they have to try some things different, because this Seattle team is not like you're saying. Even if they're down by a score,
right,
2 scores, they're not going anywhere.
They're not.
They do not lose football games in blowouts, but they do have blowout potential. And that's the thing that scares me a little bit today, is that Seattle is never going to be out of this game. And to me, if there's one team that understands that aspect of this, it's San Francisco.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, Shanahan and Robert Saleh, they're saying the whole week that's been preaching, this is a 4-quarter game, guys. This is a 60-minute game. You cannot let up, because Seattle is not going to quit. Show me. That's the message. That's the battle cry. This team is not going anywhere. They're going to be here for 4 quarters. You got to be willing to lay everything on the line, and you got to be able to compete for 4 quarters, because if you let down against this team and you show a weakness, they're going to find a way to capitalize. They just scrap. Seattle is a scrappy team. You saw with the Rams. The Rams jumped on them. You think the game's over. They just opportunistic. They look for an opportunity, and they will exploit the opportunity if you give it to them. So how is this Niner team going to deal with it? How are they going to deal if the Niners get up and they're up by double digits? Do they finish? Do they get their foot and step on their throat? You have to be aggressive with this Seattle team. If you lay back and say, oh, we're going to run it out, we're going to play back control, try to do that stuff, they will find a way to crawl back in it. This got to be this. When you're trying to beat a champion, you got to knock them out. This is a Seattle team. You got to knock them out. You got to throw haymakers, because they're going to get up off that canvas and they're going to keep swinging.
And it's going to be about guys making plays. I mean, again, that's really what it came down to in Week 1. It was a hard-nosed, tough, defensive-minded football game, which the Niners made enough plays to get that W. I would say that up until the Sunday night football game last week against the Bears, that's probably been my favorite win of the season. Even the Thursday night game with Mac Jones and the Rams, it was unbelievable. But the Niners weren't at full strength. And I think there was something about having, again, Bosa, having Warner, having Brock, and going head-to-head with a team at the beginning of the season to what we now have found out set the tone for both of these teams the remainder of the year. The Seahawks got better from that game. The Niners had to go through a ton of turbulence and had to find resilience in their season to improve. But that football game, just mano-a-mano, straight up, it didn't have to do with a short week. Full rest coming into the game just like it is this time. I know it's a little earlier because it's a Saturday, but everyone's got the same amount of rest. Seattle's got to come down, and they got to prove that the Niners are not a team that can beat them twice in a year. Meanwhile, the Niners, if they beat Seattle, who's proven now to be, outside of San Francisco, literally the number one team in the conference, this is the kind of win today that makes you feel like the Niners absolutely could go all the way.
Yeah, 1,000%. If you win this game, I'm telling you, the odds would flip dramatically.
They become the favorites.
The Niners would become the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And that's, I never thought you and I would be sitting here this point in time of the season saying if the Niners win this game, they're going to be the favorites because everything comes through San Francisco with a bunch of nameless backups on defense, guys that probably your safety. We don't know who would be starting. If this 49ers were at full strength and they had what they wanted and money wasn't an issue, is there anybody on that defense would be a starter? That's the crazy thing that people are – there's not a lot of starters on that defense that'd be starting in the National Football League.
Well, just think about it. How many guys on that defense would start for the Seattle Seahawks? That might be the best defense in football. If not one, it's two. There's not a ton of guys for San Francisco. Diamador Lenore, obviously, is a shutdown corner, is probably in the starting 11. But outside of him, there's not a ton of guys that Seattle would say, you know what, he's going to come in and be our starting Mike. He's going to step in and be our starting free safety. He's going to be our defensive end. There's not a lot of guys, and that makes what they've done and really the job that Robert Saleh has done all the more incredible.
It really has, and they get that. And I think what you were talking about, how Seattle and the 49ers, they had to go through, 49ers has been through a lot. They have. They've been through a lot of building. The 49ers season this year, I think it's the not rebuild, but it's the reload. Mm-hmm. It's hey, look, we're not necessarily reloading because we got so many injuries. These young guys have been thrust into starting positions. Guys that we looked at that was going to as backups. Now they are starters. And they had to grow up. They had to grow up overnight. And you look at them now and you watch the way the defense, I've listened to the Sunday night game, you listen to the call. They're talking about how Buffoon, who's the linebacker, and you watch him. And Robert Saleh said after Fred went down, no one was talking at practice. Had no voice. There was no voices. No one's really said because they were in uncharted waters. They didn't have a lot of guys that's been starters, that's been mainstays, guys that's been in this league, guys that's been around. They didn't have a lot of that, so there was no guys necessarily communicating, talking about let's go guys and getting guys fired up. Who was your defensive leader? And now over time now, you're starting to watch these young kids go from kids to men to a team to a unit. It became from individuals to saying team concept, and now you watch these guys believe that they're starters. These guys believe that it's their job, and now you have created a culture with a lot of young guys and a lot of guys that wasn't expected to play, but now they have gotten their playing skills down and they have learned so much, a tremendous amount that they have learned, that now they are in a situation where they are starters in this league. So you have created a new groundswell. You have created where the guys, when you're starters, you got 3-4 starters on defense that are returning next year, that guys are going to be like, I should be playing. I should be playing more. I need to get back on this field. So you have created a place where there is more competition because a lot of these guys now have been in a starting role for a long part of this year.
And there are guys that at this point of the season, going into this game, they understand their role. They're not trying to go out there and make, the game-winning play in the first quarter. They understand that, all right, against these high-powered offenses, last week Chicago, this week Seattle, we might have to play the long game. All right, I don't need to make the big tackle in the first quarter. I need to keep my man in front of me. I need to contain. I need to stop the big play. I need to make sure that if Seattle, we can give them 4, we can't give them 15. They have to earn each and every yard. And I feel like that this defense of course, orchestrated by Saleh and put together, cobbled together over the course of 17 weeks. They've figured out what works for them. And that's to where, at this point of the season, in Week 18, the best teams understand who they are. I think Week 5, Week 6, we're at Laughing Monk Brewing, and we're talking about these games, and we still didn't really know who the Niners are.
Right.
Now, even though the defense, yes, they're not the Legion of Boom. Heck, they're not the defense from 2 years ago for the Niners. They're not the defense from Week 1 for the Niners. But they understand who they are. And to me, the most important part about that side of the football is they've at least developed an identity to where they might give up some yards, they will give up points, but they're not going to make the back-breaking mistake that cost the offense a chance to go win them the football game like they did on Sunday night against the Bears.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and it's going to be just – I think when you're talking about a tale of two halves, it's been a tale of two seasons. You've seen this defense grow right in front of our eyes. And I think a lot of the Niner fans realize that and they appreciate that. And you watch the faithful last Sunday night against Chicago Bears, and you watch how that place was just electric. And you seen the way that defense was flying around in spite of. You saw that there was no quit in them, the tenacity that they had to fight for 4 quarters, to make a play when the play was needed. It just goes to show you that this team is growing. And it's growing right in front of our eyes, and it's growing right in front of the National Football League. It's growing in front of the NFL family. It's growing in front of the NFL players. It's growing in front of the whole league. The people are saying, oh, when's like you talked about, you always say, when is the shoe going to drop? When is this team going to come back down to reality and they're going to start losing? And this team they're not built like that. There's no crack in their armor. They believe that they believe that they're going to win now, and you see the character and the way in which they play and the way in which they fly around. This San Francisco 49ers team as a whole, it believes that it is destined. It believes that it can win a Super Bowl. I'm telling you, these guys no longer are looking like deer in the headlights. When you first saw this defense, you saw breakdowns of coverages, guys running all out of the lanes, but you're seeing a collective defense play, complementary football, understanding what's at stake. This team has grown, man, and they have grown in front of our eyes, and I can't wait to see tonight to be showcased playing against Seattle Seahawks, a veteran team, a team with a great defense. Both these two teams are playing for the same thing, and it's nowhere to hide. It's nowhere to run. Seattle was playing for it 2 weeks ago against the Rams. Rams had them down. They found a way. The Niners were playing against a week ago for Chicago Bears. Chicago was playing for the same. Win that game, win in, and Chicago has home field. 49ers found a way. Tonight, it's no exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
These two teams right now are playing for the same thing. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to go. It's winner take all. That's what you want.
I wonder how the faithful's feeling right now. How are 49er fans feeling driving down through this game? You're listening to Lorenzo Neal. You're listening to the energy here at Laughing Monk. How are you feeling right now? 888-957-9570. Hop on the phones. Tell us what you're feeling about this game, how you're feeling about this season, how you're feeling like the Niners' chances to take the 1 seed and win the NFC West. What's coursing through your veins right now? 888-957-9570 is the number. Evan Giddings, Lorenzo Neal, back on the kickoff show from Laughing Monk Brewing after this on 95.7 The Game.
Looking for the perfect venue for your next meeting or special event? Discover History San Jose. With charming indoor spaces and beautiful outdoor settings, it's the ideal spot for meetings, weddings, corporate gatherings, or private celebrations. Nestled in the heart of History Park, you'll enjoy a unique blend of historic charm and modern amenities to make your event unforgettable. Plus, our spacious grounds offer the perfect backdrop for photos, dining, and more. Reserve your day today at History San Jose. Visit historysanjose.org or call now to book your one-of-a-kind experience.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-880-1212. That's 800-880-1212. Again, that's 800-880-1212.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skryizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skryizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skryizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skryizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skryizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skryizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skryizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Covino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And The Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
I bet you folks are glad to be done with your shopping. Hopefully, all your gifts went well. But there's one last store to visit, this time just for yourself. Your chance to get one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony TVs at a crazy low price. Where? At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. A great way to end the year. If you don't check out these deals at Video Only, you'll be sorry.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and watching sports isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And my show is not a job, it's a passion. From the NFL playoffs to the NBA and everything in between, celebrate sports with me every day on You Better You Bet from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Download the Odyssey app now and listen to Westwood One Sports from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
And it goes quick with the play clock running down. He did. It's a boot. Purdy pulling back, stepping forward, throwing on the run, touchdown! What a play, Purdy! Use check on the business end. You deserve to dance.
Now back to the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
Yeah, Brock's Dougie he's getting better week by week, Lo.
Hey, he loves it, man. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Brocky. Brocky be hitting that Dougie on him so cold. But that play, that's the difference. I think we talk about what separates Brock Purdy from Mac Jones. That play embodied it. It was a play where he runs to the right. He scrambles back to the left. He's got a defender in front of him. He makes him miss. He goes back, goes up to the line of scrimmage. The linebackers and safeties, they come up. And, hey, there's that fullback, 44 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Juice is standing over wide open. But you know why he's that wide open? Because Purdy's legs, his ability to be the double threat, made everyone drop their coverage and say, we got to stop him from getting in the end zone. And he was able to throw a strike.
Yes, he was. And that was a play that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know Brock had that.
Yeah.
I knew Brock could move. I knew Brock could run. I know Brock could scoot. But I know Brock had the twinkle toes, a tap dance between two defensive linemen, the no-look pass to the corner to use check. That's the kind of play where I was in the press box just
like, oh, boy.
Mouth ajar. I did not know that Brock Purdy had that. That right there, that was Mahomesian.
That
was Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, he showed you a little wiggle. Now you see it. Now you don't. I can turn sideways. I can still throw the side ball. But I can buy times with my legs and make defenders stop. That's backyard football. You're a quarterback in this league with guys running 4.4, 4.5, 40-yard dash, and you're making them stop their feet. You're making guys jump up in the air, getting them off the ground, biding more time, able to stop back, wiggle, spin around, do all these different silhouette, and create opportunities for your receivers and running backs to get open. And that play right there, it exhibit that.
And I love how after the game, Kyle Shanahan told us how he was feeling about that play, because it was essentially what I think what everybody in the stadium was feeling. Here's the head coach talking about it.
I saw Juice that I was hoping he would throw it to him right away, get like a 3-yard gain and a big hit. It wasn't the coverage I really wanted to play for, and then he didn't do it, so then I was just hoping he was going to throw it away and we could have a couple more downs. And then I just started watching him, probably like every other fan does, and he made me extremely nervous, and then he made me extremely happy, which happens sometimes.
No. Yes.
No. Yeah.
That was the play.
And I totally understand what he's saying, and that's what Brock Purdy does. That sometimes you shake your head and you're like, Brock, just take care of the ball. What are you doing? Don't throw it. You got points on the board. Just don't turn it over, and you're throwing an interception. Why? But it's like, that's what makes Brock special. That's what makes him unique. That's what makes him a different quarterback, because he can extend plays, but he's still it's still electrifying because he's not crossing line of scrimmage, but he's able to buy time. And yeah, I saw it. You saw the fullback to the flat, comes out. You think he's going to put it on him, and maybe Juice will get down to the 1-yard line or 2-yard line, but he holds it. He scrambles, let Juice even gets more open, and he's scrambling around. You think he's going to run, and he throws the Juice. It's just those plays make you shake your head, makes you scream, makes you holler, and it makes you say, what are you doing? And then makes it, yes, do that again. But then when he makes that mistake and it doesn't happen, you can't do that. But then that wouldn't be Brock. So I think that you can't have one without the other.
And it's interesting, too, because I feel like Brock is – And he has been really since he stepped in the league. I don't know if it's because, he's the Iowa State guy who got the chance in the 7th round. His demeanor has always been stoic and cool and calm and collected, but I feel like underneath he kind of is that gunslinger who likes to do the Dougie. He is that guy who likes to make a man miss and sort of flex on the defense. He is the guy who is a playmaker. And I feel like now, it's taken a few seasons for us to really feel that, but he's got the contract. He knows that he's the guy. And it feels like these last 6 games, Lo, especially on Sunday night against the Bears, but the last 2 weeks he's got 10 total touchdowns. He has proved to everyone that this is his job. It always has been. And for the foreseeable future, it will be his job because all the questions, and I think it's been interesting the last couple of weeks that you haven't heard anybody go, the Niners might be regretting not playing the hot hand, which we absolutely talked about and discussed. It was viable.
It was.
We haven't heard the whole, Brock Purdy's still the small quarterback with a weak arm. He doesn't have the accuracy. He doesn't have this. There's been none of that. Everyone has been forced to give Brock Purdy their flowers. And if he helps win this football game today, which I absolutely believe he has to be an integral part of if they are to do it, it's going to be even more so. And it's like, he arrived in 2023 because the team was so good, but as an individual, it feels like these last couple of weeks when he's come back from the turf toe, he's beginning to spread his wings as a true quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that Brock Purdy has done in these weeks that you're talking about success, Brock Purdy's been one of those guys that's very cerebral, getting guys lined up, and he's very serious. He's having fun. I think that's what the biggest thing. Brock Purdy's been sometimes you get so caught up in the noise. You're so caught up in what everyone thinks about you and, okay, can he play? Is he this elite quarterback? Is he this? Should they have stayed with this? And all these things. And he wants to go out and show people why they paid him and why he's that guy. Now he's like, man, screw it. Let me go have fun. And that's what Brock is doing. You see Brock now, he's having fun, giving the dead leg, holding the ball out, he's having fun. But when you have fun, man, good things happen. When you're so tight and so, stiff and like everybody can't be Tom Brady. And when Brock's having fun and he's playing loose and fancy free and jitterbugging out there and doing those things and still looking to throw the ball, he's a hell of a lot better quarterback when he's loose and he's dancing. He's got guys in. And then guys start to eat off that. Guys get infectious. They start dancing with him. The offensive line, they're coming. They're loving him. They're hugging him. He's showing guys, I'm having fun. Win, lose, or draw, guys, I'm going to have fun. I want you guys to have fun with me. We're not going to, you know what? Yes, this is a football game. Yes, we need to win. Yes, our jobs depend on it. But, man, guys, by golly, why do we play this game? For fun. Let's go have fun. And that's what the 49ers are doing. And it's starting with Brock Purdy. He's having fun.
And I'm glad you're using those 3 letters because people here at Laughing Monk Brewing are having fun. We've been having fun all season. We love being down
it's
here.
Great place.
Games inside. Everyone's having
food's great.
The great food. Maybe you get a little libation in you before you head on over to the stadium. Obviously, the rain hasn't hit yet, but is on its way. Until then, we're having some fun in the sun. And the other guy, I'm glad you mentioned it because that's exactly what Brock Purdy talked about after the game. It's the fact that right now it feels like he's having more fun than ever. Here's Brock.
Yeah, it's fun. For us, it's not even just like, I'm going to just go have fun. It's like I got to do my job, and once I do my job and execute it, we score, then you can, have some fun with it. But, I think more than anything, too, we got such a good group of guys that, KB, JJ, D-Rob, like all these fun receivers that, like, bring energy to our team. So when we do score and we're executing, it's always a good time to be able to celebrate with them and feed off their energy. So, and that's our whole team, man. So it's been a crazy year. It's been a fun year, but obviously we got one more game for the regular season to lock in, and we got to go do our job.
And it feels like, this team was having fun with Mac Jones. And Brock Purdy didn't try and come in and say, this is my team and I got to take us to the next level. He's just allowed his work to do it, and it feels like that fun, it's been amplified.
Yeah, and Skryizi, it's interesting that you said that. You said Mac Jones was having fun too. When you saw Mac Jones when he played the quarterback position, the way in which he played with fun, laughing, and he did those things, guys were laughing, he's high-fiving, he's going crazy, he had guys. And you know what? I think it rubbed off on Purdy. I think Purdy saw that and it's like, okay, you still can be stern and lead this team, but you can have fun while you're doing it. And you hear him talking about his receivers, these guys born and these guys jumping around, having a good time while they're doing it. It's starting to pay off, and it's paying off in the dividends in a big way because everyone is starting to do it. After they make a big play, after they score in the end zone, after they do their job, they're having fun. And I really believe, man, as long as Brock continues to have fun and this team around him, I mean, hell, man, they went down 7. They were down 7-0, man, before the kickoff. It was over. I mean, you were coming in the stadium, it was like, damn, what happened? Man, pick 6. And it was like, dude, they went back down and scored, and it was like, okay, we still are having fun, and we're going to come back and we're going to win this game. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing this team and all the players together as alike having a good time and having a good time on the way to wins.
That's such a great point. We're walking into the stadium, and that's when we realized how many Bears fans were in the house, because that place absolutely erupted, and we're thinking, oh, kickoff return for a touchdown, big play down the sideline, and we walk in and we see 7-0 Chicago. What happened? Oh, my God, Brock Purdy threw a pick 6 on the first pass, and Trent Williams got hurt on the same play trying to make a touchdown-saving tackle. And you're thinking, oh, well, this ain't too good. But as Brock does, he just puts it behind him, bing, bang, boom, right to it. And it's funny because it was on Monday Night Football. The last time they were on ESPN, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are going to call the game tonight. The last time they were on ESPN, Brock Purdy threw 3 picks against the Carolina Panthers. And he threw 3 picks on 3 consecutive possessions. And you're thinking about it like, what are you doing? But that mentality that unfortunately did lead to 3 turnovers is also the same mentality that I feel like allows him to go out and just flush it. They still won that football game because in the second half, Kyle dialed it back. Brock did his job. They had fun just taking care of business and winning the football game. Sunday night was a shootout. He knew he was going to have to make plays. And then we hit Jawan Jennings for that 37-yard touchdown across the middle. He was running and screaming, and everyone on the sideline was having fun because that is what was demanded of them in that situation. So I feel like today against Seattle, it's obviously a different challenge. It's a larger challenge. It's the biggest challenge, but that fun, it's still going to be apparent for the 49ers, and it's almost like it's been their superpower this whole season.
Yeah, it really has, and you're going to watch Seattle. They like to do a lot of 2 Mike. They're going to drop the Mike. They know that Purdy likes to throw the middle of the field, and you watch Seattle, every game they get some interceptions against Purdy because they understand it's timing. It's going to be rhythm, so they want to drop to the middle, and you've seen Purdy throw it. Like, where the hell is he throwing it? Look, he's throwing it right to the Seattle because you watch those linebackers, they step in and they drop into coverage, drop right in those time passing lanes that the Niners like to hit. But I like what Purdy's been doing as of late. He's not just throwing the ball like he used to be. Like, he just lets it go, and it's timing, and those defenders knew where he was going with the ball in those timings. You're watching Brock go through progressions even more now. He's not going to his first and second, sometimes his third and fourth read. He's letting things develop instead of saying, okay, I know this slant's going to be here. Man, instead of seeing this linebacker drop, I'm not just throwing it to this window. I'm going to wait. Okay, the window's there, but okay, boom, here's the linebacker. Okay, I'm getting off of that. He's, instead of just saying, I let it go and he trusts it, he's starting to do a better job of looking at his second and third and fourth read, and that's why I believe that these interceptions have went down drastically.
And that's why, look, the other part of this, too, is obviously, we've talked about Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, their symmetry right now, which has produced, perhaps Brock Purdy, statistically speaking, his best football over these last 6 weeks in which they've gone 6-0. But the other side of the football, I believe one of the biggest reasons that Seattle is such a good defensive unit, and then they got playmakers everywhere. They got Leonard Williams in the middle, might be one of the best D tackles in football. Witherspoon on the outside, can play inside, can play out, can cover, can thump, can get in the box. Ernest Jones, one of their Mike linebackers, he's a guy who can tackle galore. They got playmakers everywhere. But Mike McDonald, as a defensive play caller, has been outstanding for them. And to me, the battle between the minds of Shanahan and McDonald today, remember McDonald was the Ravens DC back in 2023 when Brock Purdy threw those 4 picks on Christmas Day. He had Brock Purdy's number, and Brock has learned from that. But Mike McDonald, I'm excited to see that matchup between Shanahan and McDonald because it's offense versus defense, play caller versus play caller. In this game tonight, it's going to be a titanic clash, and it has much to do with the players as it does the guys on the sidelines.
Without a doubt, and I want to get into a little bit with you and who's up and who's down. Is Kittle coming? Is Trent gets Trent still out? Who's up? Because we know what Kittle brings to the offense. We know what Big Trent brings to the offense. Are these guys you're going to try to wing it and say, look, let's try to give these guys another week off? That's going to be another situation, game time, or we'll see what's going to happen with those guys, because those guys are crucial in the success of the San Francisco 49ers.
So we're going to get the inactives in 10 minutes, 90 minutes before kickoff. So at 3:30, again, live from Laughing Monk Brewing, Evan Giddings, Lorenzo Neal, we'll have the inactives for this football game. If Kittle's going to play, if Trent Williams is going to play, if on the Seattle side, I believe their left tackle Josh Jones is going through workouts as we speak, seeing reports that he's going to be trying to go in this game. And that's another part about this, too. It's like Trent Williams went down with a hamstring injury last week. He's trying to play less than 7 days later because he understands how big of a football game this is. And I also want to hear what the 49ers fans feel about how big of a football game this is at 888-957-9570. What was the biggest turning point for you in this season that made you start to believe that where we're sitting right now in Week 18 with a chance to win the 1 seed the Niners have, that became more of a reality? I don't know about you, Lo, but to me it's been somewhat of a steady build that obviously crescendoed last week, but I do think that it's been difficult to fully see the whole picture because I believe that Mac Jones was a really good quarterback for them. And that Rams win was one of their signature performances. But seeing the way that Brock Purdy has come back and just simply taken care of business, I knew the Niners were good, but Brock Purdy, he's the guy that makes this offense, and I think their path to victory in most games, he's what makes them great. So what do you believe has sort of been the turning point for them?
Well, I really believe there was a game. I mean, there's some big games. Of course, the Steelers was a big game to watch, but I think one of the bigger games to me this year that I loved, and I said, okay, and that was when they played, a team that's probably not going to get in the playoffs, but they have an outside shot. They can tie their division, is the Atlanta Falcons. When the way they played, and when McCaffrey, how he went to work and how they went to business on that Atlanta team, I said, okay, this team is you thought that Atlanta and then was about what and what. You gave Atlanta maybe an edge. You still was trying to figure it out a little bit. You said, okay, they're on the verge. Are they going to turn this corner? That was a big statement game with me. The winning that Atlanta, because one team was going to ascend, one team was going to descend. I thought that Atlanta game played a big factor in some of the success of this team this year.
It's interesting you bring that game up, and I think that's the
prime
kind of
time. It was everything. Was the stars was in line.
And
you had big two running backs. We were talking about these two running backs.
Oh, yeah.
McCaffrey hadn't had yards over 20-yard run. Everyone's talking about, hey, they scored the other guy, and McCaffrey showed up and showed out that night.
And I think in a way that's kind of the template for this football team in a game like today. Maybe not against a team that doesn't have that dominant sort of defense like Seattle. You see the Chicago Bears in the playoffs. You know that you can run and gun a little bit. You know you can play loose, move the ball down the field, explosive plays, all that. You run into the Rams for even. You know that's going to have to be a shootout type affair. But against Seattle, that's a team where 23's got to be front and center. And it's a great game to bring up because he had 24 carries in that game. He had 31 total touches, had 201 total yards on Sunday Night Football in front of the country watching, and it was almost like McCaffrey had been good up until that point. He'd obviously been a big part of their
that was
workload.
That was his blog game. That was his break.
That was the breakout.
That was
game.
the breakout game of the year for him. And since that time, you go look at the score and what they've done. Look how many. I think that was a game that just kind of ignited, and they just from there just took off. So that to me, that was a defining moment. I know last week was a great game, but something about that Atlanta game to me, Sunday night, under the lights, when the biggest stage was there, people were talking about these two teams, and McCaffrey showed out.
And it was a complete win as well. The defense held them to 10 points. They kept Michael Penix off balance. They kept him uncomfortable. They're going to have to do that today against Sam Darnold as well. And it's going to be games you can hear people getting revved up in the background.
Fired up, baby.
The faithful's getting
Here they
loud.
go.
They're gold-blooded. They're in and out of Laughing Monk Brewing. They're having fun. To the tail end of this NFC matchup for the South Division. And then obviously later on in a couple, 90 minutes in fact, they're going to be watching two teams that battle for the 1 seed. So if you got a little bit of time to drop in, feel free. Please do. You can grab a drink. You can grab some food. You can have some fun. Who knows? We might be back here at Laughing Among Brewing in 2 weeks. Thank you very much. If the Niners can get this W today. So a fantastic matchup today. We're going to step aside and come back. Again, we're going to be taking your calls. We're going to be taking your predictions. We want your feelings, your emotions. How are you right now? 888-957-9570 is the number. That's Lorenzo Neal. My name is Evan Giddings, live here at Laughing Among Brewing in Sunnyvale, right off Oakmead Parkway, about a mile and a half from the stadium. It's the perfect spot to watch the 49ers and the Seahawks. A battle for the 1 seed tonight at 5 o'clock on Saturday Night Football. We'll be back on the kickoff show after this on 95.7 The Game.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-932-5858. That's 800-932-5858. 800-932-5858.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Reliable Legal Marketing.
Attention California residents. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, including chronic lymphocytic leukemia, a common subtype, is one of the most common cancers in the United States. If you or loved one was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or chronic lymphocytic leukemia and were exposed to Roundup weed killer, you could be entitled to cash compensation. Bayer, the owner of Roundup, has agreed to pay more than $10 billion to cancer victims linked to the weed killer. Call our Weed Killer Cancer Hotline now to see if you're entitled to cash compensation. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or chronic lymphocytic leukemia and were exposed to Roundup, call now. Our attorneys have the experience and specialize in fighting for everyday people to get the compensation you deserve. If you or a loved one was diagnosed, even if a loved one has passed away, call 800-341-4933 now. But hurry, time is limited. Call 800-341-4933. 800-341-4933.
Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Will Trial Law, LLC, 1001 Bannock Street, Denver, Colorado, 80204.
Make money predicting sports, politics, culture, and more. Legally nationwide with Kalshi. From sports to Bitcoin, the Oscars, and even politics. If it matters, you can trade on it. Use code Odyssey for $20 when you trade 100. KALSHI.com. Trading involves risk. Kalshi.
This is Larry Flick, owner of The Floor Store. When the year ends, the savings begin. With our New Year's clearance sale, get up to 50% off store-wide. 2 years free financing, and we pay your sales tax. It's our way of saying Happy New Year. The Floor Store, your Bay Area flooring authority.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell.
You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Covino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Oh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
On the boot, got space, gonna take off, inside the 5, put into the end zone, touchdown, San Francisco.
Now back to the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
All right, just a couple of minutes away from the inactives, an hour and a half away, I should say, from kickoff, the game that everybody's got their eyes on tonight.
Here we go.
I know the Buccaneers and I know the Panthers are going on right now, and it's a battle for a playoff spot. I know tomorrow's the Ravens and the Steelers, but this is a potential NFC championship type of showdown. We got rivals. We got the two best teams, in my opinion, right now going, the two hottest teams in the NFC. The Seahawks have won 5. The Niners have won 6. I mean, this is a Titanic showdown, and we're live here at Laughing Monk Brewing getting you ready. All right, Lo. So, all right, I got them out right now. Sorry, I was getting a little bit flustered. This is official. The San Francisco 49ers, George Kittle, is active tonight against Seattle, while Trent Williams and Ricky Pearsall are out. So they'll be without their left tackle and number 1 wideout for this game. Now, if this was any other year, I would say, damn.
Right.
That's not good. And that might sink the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
But after seeing what they were able to still accomplish against the Bears, losing Trent Williams one play into that game, Pearsall, who got hurt and then came back in during that game, I'm not going to say it's not going to impact this outcome, but if there's a team equipped to handle these kinds of losses, it is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, let's be honest. You can't replace a Trent Williams. He is a dominant, still pass run guy. He can block on the run. He's a great pass blocker. He's a great run blocker. You can't necessarily replace him. We get that. I think, though, but I think a saving grace is having George Kittle. George Kittle is one of the best, if not best, blocking tight end in the game. George Kittle, he can block from a down position. He blocks great motion across, cutting off the defensive end. He does a great job of cutting off the defensive end and not letting him penetrate, so creates running lane. You're going to see him in Juszczyk. I call those two guys the two Swiss Army knives. Those two guys are amazing in the run game. They give you so many misdirections. They act like they can block you. They're going to slip into flat. You have a better chance running the ball when you have Kittle. So I'm telling you, having Kittle, not just in the passing game, but he's so dominant. He means so much to this 49ers team in the run game. So I'm glad he's going to play tonight.
That's Lorenzo Neal. My name is Evan Giddings. We're live here at Laughing Monk Brewing. Hopefully not the last time we'll see here throughout this this football season, because the Niners, if they win today, secure home field advantage all the way through the playoffs up until the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium. But as far as the Niners' potential path, if they win today, we know they're going to be hosting in a couple weeks whoever comes out of that wild card weekend. But if they lose and the Rams win tomorrow, the Niners will become the 6th seed. If they lose and the Rams lose, they would be the 5 seed. So they have a potential to play any of the 3 teams remaining in the picture right now. Whoever wins between the Buccaneers and the Panthers, they get the 4 seed. And, kind of the tail end of the division buy-ins. Meanwhile, Philly and Chicago are the other 2 squads. And I got to ask you this, Lo. We saw last week Chicago. They had to come here, and they were potentially a play away from winning that football game. The Niners made just enough plays to get it done. Philadelphia is a team that we have not seen yet directly outside of having gone heads up with the Bears. Is that a team that would potentially concern you, having been the defending Super Bowl champs?
Well, I think when they say you got it, in order to beat the champ, you got to knock the champ out, and the champ deserves the right to be called the champs. They're defending Super Bowl champs. They have a lot of their guys still on that team and still on that roster. It's going to be tough. If you have to go to Philadelphia, you know how the city of brotherly love, those fans are crazy. They're fanatics. So I don't necessarily want to go to Philadelphia. Can the Niners handle it if they had to? Absolutely. Philadelphia has not played great this year. They're not playing great this year. And, yes, you can go there and you can have a great opportunity to win that game, and I understand that. But I'd rather not go to Philly. I think that you take care of business tonight, but Philly, can you beat Philadelphia? Has Philadelphia shown vulnerability this year? Have they been inconsistent? Yes. But the playoffs, you know it, Evan, anything can happen, especially if you're playing at home in Philadelphia.
And I do think that this game, should they have to go to Philly, this game almost would kind of prepare them for that. Again, we're hoping that the Niners are able to get it done tonight, but in case they don't, against the best team in the NFC, potentially in the NFL, I feel like Philadelphia is almost like a Seattle light. I know that they have the Super Bowl pedigree, they have the championship under their belt, but it's a team that is going to want to run the football. A team that has a singular wide receiver primarily. They work through A.J. Brown, and their quarterback takes care of the football, but is a little bit more of a dual threat. And then that defense is their strength. So from that respect, the Eagles are like Seattle in that they are a defensive-first type of football team. I think Seattle's a better squad. I think they're more whole, they're more complementary. They have playmakers at more positions. But in a way, the Niners getting this group here tonight might prepare them for if they have to go out to the city of brotherly love, just because stylistically it's going to be one of those body bag type of games.
It really will be, and the 49ers can score, and Philadelphia has shown this year that they're not really necessarily a team that can go out and light up the scoreboard. So you would have to say, if we do have to travel to Philadelphia, our offense can give Philadelphia points, give Philadelphia fits. And if you look at Philadelphia, if you score 24 on Philadelphia, it's tough. If you score 24 against Philadelphia, Philadelphia is going to have a tough time scoring more than 24. So if you're the Niners, it doesn't scare you. If you can get to 24, Philadelphia's offense doesn't scare you. And you don't turn over, you play safe football, you can handle that game. But tonight, man, it's about the Vikings. If you look up and you go through history and you look at the Vikings, what the Vikings would do, they would go and they would take their ships and they would go and explore different lands, And once the Vikings would settle on the land, you know what they would do? They would burn their damn ships. You know why they would burn them? They're saying, we're not leaving. We're going to either die or we're going to take this land. That's what the Niners' attitude tonight. It's, man, you know what? We're the Vikings. We're burning our ships. We're winning this game tonight. We are not leaving. This is our house, and we will protect this house. Let's protect this house.
I don't know you're a history buff.
Oh, there you go, baby.
History buff.
I had to give it to you, baby. It's game night, baby. I got to bring you my best stuff, baby.
I know.
Burn your ships, baby.
Well, so speaking of these kinds of nights, you've played on teams that have been a 1 seed, and you've been on teams that have gone deep, gone to the Super Bowl, you've seen it all. When you get to the end of the season, what does your body feel like? I mean, you've gone through this 6-month slog, even back to the summer and training camp and preseason. You've done all the work to get to this point. How are you feeling at this stage? At this stage of the season,
you know what? Your body's beat up, but there's something inside you, that inner fire. When you're you're like, I got one more in me. If I get past this week, I got one more in me. And these playoff games, man, it's a different speed. I remember playing in the playoffs, man, and just being 14-2 and understanding the importance of it. Being in Tennessee, not losing a game at the Delphia Conference Coliseum, being in the Music City, making that Music City Miracle play that happened. We knew once that happened, you couldn't tell us we wouldn't win it. We knew we were destined for greatness, and we ended up winning those next 2 games and getting to the Super Bowl and coming up a yard short. But when you have a moment in those playoffs, and it's about just getting that first win. And I've been on teams where we're San Diego, and you remember that team, freaking the best team in the playoffs. Nate Caton couldn't buy a field goal, missed, and it's just like when you lose, it's just like, gosh. And when you start missing field goals and things start not going, it brings doubt. You start getting doubt. Instead of you going up by 9 or 12, now you're only up by 3, or you're not even winning. You're like, come on, we're dominating this game. And other teams, they feed momentum. So you got to kill momentum. And how do you do that? By stopping teams, by getting on them, by drying them, by suffocating them. So I've been on both sides. Been on side where the momentum starts rolling well for you, and all you do is you ride it, and you keep pushing, and you stay on the gas. And I've been on where it hasn't been going well, and you just can't buy a point, you can't buy a field goal, and you just start to you just see body language. You see teams even defensively, we're gonna get you the ball back, and they just start believing. Teams stop believing. So it's a lot that goes on. And so when you get in the playoffs, man, you gotta take advantage of the opportunities. It's about capitalizing on the opportunities that present itself. That's how you win in playoffs, and that's how you lose in playoffs if you don't capitalize on opportunities.
And it's because they've earned this opportunity. The Niners have won 6 games in a row to get to this point. The Seattle Seahawks have only lost 3 games in a row to get to this point, none of which have been more than 4 points. That's to me why this game is, in a way, it kind of is everything. It's going to give you a glimpse at where you're truly at. And the Niners have been building to this point the entire season. Everyone's made so much about, well, the schedule is easy, the schedule is this, the schedule is that, and yet they passed every single test. Last week against Chicago, all right, they're a team that can run the football. Can we neutralize Monangai? Can we neutralize Swift? Well, you did enough to kind of prohibit them from getting the ball going in the run game. Williams making some plays. Now this week it's a different challenge. You got a different two-headed monster in the backfield. You got a different quarterback that can sling it downfield. And Sam Darnold has been one of the best at providing deep ball precision. We saw it last year when he was with Minnesota. The 98-yard bomb backed up on his 2-yard line when he was with the Vikings to Justin Jefferson. This is a guy who can stretch the field. So everyone has the momentum of the season that they put together that they've earned, culminating in this night. And it's why the sport's the best. It's why everyone's going to have their eyes on Levi's Stadium. And it's why the San Francisco 49ers deserve to be in this spot. So I'm fired up about this football game. And I know there's a lot of people here, too, whether you're rooting for the Seahawks or, of course, the amount of Niners fans who have rolled into Laughing Monk Brewing, trying to figure out exactly where this game is going to go. It's just... It's bubbling in me, Lo. I can't wait for kickoff in this football game because this is what it's all about.
You feeling it, brother? Hey, you're feeling it because this is it. It's everyone's like, the playoff starts next week. No, this is a playoff game. We talked about it last week. Last week was a playoff game, and it felt it. You felt the atmosphere. You felt the environment. You could see the way the game was played by both teams. It was a playoff game. Both these two teams, the Bears and the Niners, they fought, they kicked, they scratched, they clawed. That game went down to the wire because it was a playoff game. Tonight is no difference. This is a playoff game. The only difference about this playoff game, you're not eliminated, but what you are, you change the trajectory and you change the odds of you winning and losing. You change the percentage. So this is a playoff game. It's not elimination, but I'll tell you what, the loser of this game, their percentage of being eliminated first round, first week goes up. So this is a playoff type game, playoff atmosphere without a doubt. This is a very, very big win. It's a very, very big opportunity for this team tonight.
And even though the Niners have been here in these spots before, they've been to NFC Championship games, they've been to a Super Bowl, they haven't hoisted the trophy. I think because of the course of this season and sort of the strange turns it's taken and the roller coaster ride they've been on, this is almost a new challenge for them. You know, the Niners have been the team that's been fighting, looking up at the Seahawks the entire time. They've been looking up at the Rams who have fallen off. They've jumped L.A., and now they have a chance to jump Seattle. I feel like Kyle Shanahan and the majority of the teams that have been successful outside of 2021, they've been the team that's been the front runner. They're now the team that they're underdogs in this game. They're the team that's trying to get the big dog, that's trying to get Seattle. Meanwhile, Seattle has usually been, at least in recent memory, they've been the team that's been scratching and clawing to kind of fight up. Now they're the big dogs on top with a chance to secure their one-seed berth. It's almost like they've flipped roles. And the Niners, to me, they've relished the opportunity this year to be the underdogs because Brock Purdy has not yet been that guy to say they don't expect this out of him. He's been the underdog as far as his own career, but he's never quarterbacked a team that's been seen as the underdog. And so, you know, again, when you're thinking about no Trent Williams tonight, no Ricky Pearsall tonight, a couple of others inactive for the San Francisco 49ers, George Kittle being active, it's just the last chance to dance as the underdog before you potentially have a chance to host 2 playoff games and get to a Super Bowl.
Oh, without a doubt. And tonight it's very simple. Offense entertains, but defense wins championships. Tonight it's about these two offense entertaining, but which defense is going to win that championship tonight? Because I'm going to tell you, just like you saw last week, you can talk about all the points the Niners scored. You can talk about all the points that the Chicago Bears scored. But that last several minutes of that game, when the Niners are down by 3 because the defense stopped them. Yeah, they didn't stop them from scoring, but they only allowed 3 points. Defense made a play. The Niners touchdown, scored a touchdown. Chicago Bears defense allowed a touchdown. So now you're up by 4. Look at what happened. Chicago takes the ball all the way down, 4 seconds left. The defense makes a play to keep them out of the end zone. Offense was entertaining, but the defense won those games. You got to have defense, and tonight is no exception. Defensive plays is going to be a premium. If the Niners, you know they can score some points, but it's going to be at a premium tonight for the defense to make a play at opportune times, a la against the Rams, the punch out on the 1-yard line, a la when you have certain plays where defensive guys step up and make interceptions or make plays, get a turnover, strip fumble. Something has to happen. You might give up some plays, but your defense, opportune times, need to make some big plays tonight.
And it's funny because last week it was all about the offense. I do think that this week, as much as I believe that the Niners can score points, and they've shown since Brock Purdy's come back, it's 35. That's kind of where they've been around their average. Tonight, if it's a shootout, I'm not sure they're going to be able to match, not necessarily what Seattle can do, but the Seattle defense, to me, it's not going to allow the Niners to score 42 points again. I do not see Seattle giving up 40. And we talked about it last week, kind of what was the magic number. I said it was 28. Apparently it was 38. The magic number was 38 for the Niners last week. This week, to me, the defense is going to have to prove that they cannot just deliver against Seattle, but also deliver in the playoffs because I think everyone feels now comfortable. They have confidence in this offense to go score points. They have confidence in Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey to be able to produce the amount of points necessary to win this football game. But can the defense keep Seattle in check? They did it in week 1, but that was with Bosa. That was with Warner. That was with a lot of playmakers that aren't going to be on that field here tonight. and you get it at home. So that to me is what this comes down to. I'm with you. The defense has to make a statement in the same way the offense did last week on Sunday Night Football.
They do. They really do. And the offense has to play complementary too. They got, and I know Seattle, we talked about Seattle trying to keep the ball away from the Niners offense. I think the Niners have to do the same way. They got to say, hey, look, let's let our defense rest. Let's have our defense be fresh. Let's put some drives together that's going to eat up 5, 6, 7 minutes clock and let our defense be fresh so when they have to get out on third down, they can get off the field. Let's do some of those things. So tonight, man, it's complementary football. It's a team that's got to play complementary football, but when it presents itself, you have to take advantage of the opportunity. That's what I want to see happen tonight. Often, especially offense and defense, but our offense tonight, the Niners offense, it still has to be prolific. It has to be tonight.
And one of the guys that's going to be carrying the majority of the load is Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Shanahan was asked about Christian McCaffrey's back, which did flare up earlier in the week and, of course, on Sunday night against the Bears. But how is CMC's back feeling going into this game? Because he's got a large load to carry. Here's Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, I know he battled it bad 2 weeks ago, just up to that game. What game was that? Indy. No, before Indy. It feels like a year ago. I know he battled it hard that week. Haven't heard anything about it since, so might have stiffened up in the game. I know it was sore just from Sunday night, so that's why we got him on here today.
He said it felt like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Felt like it. That was 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Imagine what he thinks about week one. Like, I wonder, I mean, when you guys are watching, tape from a division opponent, all division games, you're studying all off season, you're trying to figure out how to win those 6 games. I mean, does week one in that tape even make it? Into week 18?
It does if you're playing that team again and you just want to look at what you did because you're still watching the players you played against. That Seattle game, even though it was like 8, 9, 10 weeks ago, it's been watched because you're still playing lining up against that same guy. You want to see, hey, look, if he's playing me man coverage, if I stepped inside, did he have a false step? Did he play bell technique? Did he open up a left leg? Or did he just back straight pedal up? What are they doing? Okay, when I got ready to do my stretch play, what is the defensive end doing? When we're running at the point, when Juszczyk coming across in motion, what are they doing? Are they rock and rolling the safeties? Is the safety coming down to say, I'm going to play force? So now I'm going to leave the safety, let him play air. I got to adjust, and I got to block the linebacker because if I go block the safety, now that linebacker's the free hitter. So, yes, without a doubt, it plays a big difference. You're still watching it because you're still watching tendencies, and you're watching the guys that you have to go against. So, yes, even though you played a team in week 1, in week 16, week 17, it still makes a difference because you might see this guy's quick with his hands, what he does as a defensive lineman, what he does as an offensive lineman. Is he a guy that wants a quick set? If he's going to quick set me, what am I going to do? Am I going to bully him? Am I going to punch him in the chest? What are some of those tendencies? So, yes, without a doubt, you watch tape for tendencies, Sue.
And I'm sure Seattle's going to be checking in on what Christian McCaffrey has done. Started the season a little bit slow, but has had some big games as of late. How has he gotten better as the season has moved along? Here's Kyle Shanahan talking about number 23.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to differentiate. Christian's pretty good every time I feel like he's in our uniform, but good ones only get better as the year goes.
It almost feels like this year, Lo, he's shown that, I mean, he's always been tough and he's always been explosive, but this year he's also been smart. I mean, I can't remember the last time that Christian McCaffrey took a big hit. You know, that he met the linebacker in the hole and just absorbed that punishment. He can, and he knows he can, but he's been wise this year to touch the ball more than he has, even back in 2023 when he was setting San Francisco 49er running back records. Since he's gotten here, he's always been a guy that the Niners have relied on, but this season, it's almost as if mind has kind of met matter with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and McCaffrey's a smart player. He runs with vision. He has the foresight and the ability not to take big shots. You watch him, he'll get what you give him, and then he'll go down. He's not necessarily going to move the pile. When he's in space, if guys are down his feet, he's going to try to high step out of certain situations. He's going to spin. He's going to take what you give him. But then he knows, he plays smart. He knows when to get down, and he knows when to accelerate. When the game's on the line, he knows when to pick it up and take it to the next level. So McCaffrey, he's a veteran player. You watch him in the pass game. He knows when it's man coverage, knows when it's zone. You watch the way that he runs his routes. The guy does some pretty amazing things, man. We're here at Laughing Monk. The crowd is still yelling. Man, it's crazy, man. People are getting ready to load up on the bus. Man, this is crazy. Just the energy that you feel, the people that you see here, the way the bar is, watching these Niner fans, watching the Niner faithful, watching Seattle fans. This game, man, I'm telling you, this environment feels like a playoff game. I know when we drive over, the stadium's going to be cracking. It's going to be rocking. This is what football's about, brother. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, excited to watch this game, excited to watch and see what these Niners can do tonight.
And it's been really fun to be here throughout the entire season because you've seen people slowly but surely wrap their arms around Laughing Monk Brewing and the kickoff show and being live here for home games. You know, week one, people are excited about the season. But there was, again, it's not so much about the location as it was the Niners. I think people were, again, tempering expectations. I know I was. I wasn't sure what this team could be. And so you're seeing people be excited. They're having fun here. They're playing games. As the season tends to go on, all right, we're wrapping our arms around Mac Jones. You're seeing people rocking the old number 10, coming out to Laughing Monk Brewing. And by the time it's crescendoed at the end of this year, we're now in 2026, you're seeing everybody out here. It's almost as if throughout this entire season, Laughing Monk, along with the Niners, together, they've helped kind of put this spot on the map and this season on the map, which obviously has come down to Week 18, the final week of the season, and a battle for the 1 seed between San Francisco and Seattle. A rivalry renewed an hour away from kickoff. We got you until then here live from Laughing Monk Brewing. That's Lorenzo Neal. My name is Evan Giddings, and we'll be back after this on the kickoff show. Again, 1 hour left till Saturday Night Football. Can't wait for it. More ahead on 95.7 The Game.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From carriage house to glass aluminum doors, R&S Doors has a full line of commercial and residential garage doors and gates to suit anyone's taste and budget. Visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
And we're out. Back in 60.
Hey, what are you eating? Chimichurri filet mignon. It's a Factor meal. Oh, nice. Wait, they let you eat like that in the pros? Oh, they insist on it. A pro's work starts on the plate. Oh, man, that does look good. Let me have a taste. Get your own. All right. Where do I find this? Is it factormeals.com? Yep, and they've got a deal going on. Oh, love a deal. I am so in. Smart move. Pro move. All right. Factor. Eat like a pro.
Hey, it's Willard for Underdog Fantasy. Football season is rolling toward the end. Christian McCaffrey is rolling towards some major stats. Let's get in on this, root for it, maybe make some money too. With Underdog Unwrapped, you're going to unwrap a bunch of promos going on right now, boosts, gimme picks, even some surprises sprinkled in. You should check it out because you can make picks and win money right now in California. Playing on Underdog is easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats, rushing yards, receiving yards with CMC. You get the idea. So play with me, download the Underdog app, and use my promo code Willard to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, the promo code is Willard. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or over and present in California. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or go online at ncpgambling.org.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time.
Let's go!
The witching hour before the witching hour. The Niners an hour away from kickoff between they and the Seattle Seahawks. One seed on the line. Lorenzo Neal, Evan Giddings, Laughing Monk, brewing here in Sunnyvale. I mean, it's just the one thing that honestly saddens me a little bit low about this game is if the Niners lose, this might be our last show here today.
Oh.
And that's the only thing
Don't
that's kind
say
of crept in the
that.
back of my mind.
Come on,
need
Niners.
the Niners to win so we can come back.
Yes, I want to come back to life, back to the Laughing Monk. You know what? Exactly. Niners, you got to keep this thing going because we'll be home. We'll be at the Laughing Monk every single week throughout, even probably leading up to the Super Bowl. Do you know this place, how cracking it will be, how crack-a-lacking it will be, man? Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh, shivering.
Okay.
I mean, and this is the thing, too, is, yes, at this point, people were beginning to filter out and head out to the stadium, but, we got here 3 hours before, and we're just sitting here enjoying the view, enjoying all the fun. This place was absolutely packed. We got prizes that people were giving away, games that folks are still going on. Like, they had reserved tables. The wings are immaculate. The burgers, the sliders, the drinks. Everything about this place is A1. And so that's why I need the Niners to go out here and get this W tonight. Selfishly, Low, I need to come back here in 2 weeks.
And you know what? Selfishly, I need to come back all 3 weeks for the NFC Championship game, for the Super Bowl, for the first week after the bye. So, yeah. So, I too, in the same church, same pew. And it can happen. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen tonight. And we understand it's a tall task tonight. You're playing a Seattle team that's very hot, just like you are. You're playing a team that's got a defensive front. They got some boy dogs up front. You're playing a team that understand what they're playing for, just like you do. And it's going to come down to who wants it more and who's going to make the least amount of mistakes in field position and turnover. Football never changes. It's always going to be the same thing. Or can you win the turnover battle? Can you get off the field on third down? And, hey, this McCaffrey guy, don't stop giving him the ball. Don't stop believing. Let this guy ride him till you can't ride him anymore. He's been the bell cow. Purdy's been playing great. You have Kittle. You have the receivers. You have a plethora of receivers, guys that just step up and they make big plays. You just got to give Purdy some time tonight. And it's going to all happen off that play action. It's going to happen if that run game is going. We talked about it last week against Chicago Bears, 130, 140 yards Christian McCaffrey had. You got to have that type of effort again tonight. You got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to keep them honest. And if you can't do that, then it could be a long night.
And odds are, it could be if you don't get all that done. But the way the Niners have been playing, I do think that this is going to come down to the wire, and we're going to be remembering this game the same way we remember the 2019 game that was for the 1 seed, the same way we talked about the 2013 game, which to me, and unfortunately it brings up bad memories for Niners fans, with the 2013 NFC Championship game. I remember I was back in college. I was a youngin'. That was one of the best games I have ever seen, with Kaepernick driving them down the field, unfortunately trying to go to Crabtree in the back corner, Sherman tipping it to that kind of game. That's what I feel like is on deck tonight, because when the Niners and the Seahawks get together, and when they got bragging rights, when they got things that are on the line, something as big as the 1 seed, they tend to deliver. And that's why I also feel like 49ers fans, these kinds of games they've gone back and forth, but they got to be feeling confident too, because they're playing their best football. Seattle's playing their best football. And it just feels like this game is building up to something, and it kind of has been the entire season. Like, if I asked you this, do you think the Niners, if a month ago, not us, not you, not I, not Lowe, not Evan, do you think the Niners thought they would be in this position 1 month ago?
It's interesting. It's interesting because I think a month ago they would. If you look at their schedule and you look at where they were at a month ago, 4 weeks ago, they were starting to play good ball. I think when you think about Mac Jones, with Mac Jones at the helm, and think about it, up till they lost that Rams game at home, something was going on. It was like they were finding ways to win games. They were in games, so you're like, you said, man. And then that night, when that game, you're like, all right, cool. Rams just beat them up. They were just too much for them, and they were. But then if you watch that and you talk about just a month ago, 4 weeks ago, what were their record 4 weeks ago? Who's the last 4 games? Think what were they at 4 weeks ago?
I mean, they were 8-4 coming in. They were good.
They beat good. Cleveland. They were on that bye. They were 8. So, and they looked at the rest and they kept saying, if we win, you don't think, and that's the thing. Reason why I think so, they felt they were going to be here because they looked up and said, if we hold court, and we continue to do what we're doing, Seattle we already beat. We already know if we win out, we can have them. So they looked at that 4 weeks ago and said, my goodness, if we just do what we're doing, we can have an opportunity to be in a unique situation. So 4 weeks ago, they looked up and said, we've been talking about this, and now it's reality. We've been talking about this for months.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy too, right? We're looking at the Panthers game, and they're showing the one-score game records in the NFL, and the Niners are a team that last year it felt like they couldn't buy a close game. Late situation, lose by a field goal, a missed kick against the Rams early last year. Jake Moody goes wide left. The Arizona Cardinals walked them down at home week 5 of last season. Brock Purdy throws a late pick against the bank. All of these types of situations that are going against them now have flipped in their favor, and it's been about the plays that they have made. If this game comes down to the wire, and I know that Seattle is also a team that has been good in tight spots. Just see Thursday Night Football a couple of weeks ago against the Los Angeles Rams, down 16 in the fourth quarter, came back to win that game in overtime. This is a Niners team that I believe if it's tight, it's at home, they got the crowd behind them. I like the Niners in that spot. They got enough guys that have shown this season that this ain't the 6-11 year, that this ain't the season where it's turned up heads when you need tails. It's turned up tails when you need heads. This is a Niners team that they've played their best when it feels like the games are tight, and that's why, again, to kind of prelude the postseason, I do feel good about this squad.
Yeah, I feel great about this squad. Tonight you don't feel – you're like, hey, this game is going – we know the magnitude of this game, and you're like, man, this game can go either way. We know this game can go either way, and we know this game can be a rock fight. This is going to be a dog fight. We get that. You and I both understand that, and we understand that. But the reason why there's hope is because you've seen what this team has done. The reason why it's hope, you're playing in front of the Niner faithful. The reason why there's hope, you're playing at home. The reason why there's optimism is because in the air is because they went toe to toe with the Chicago Bears, who's beaten Philadelphia, who's beaten Green Bay, who's beaten a lot of teams in the NFC. They went toe to toe and found a way to win. The reason why there's hope is because you've seen what Brock Purdy's done the last 5 weeks. The reason why there's hope, you see the way that Christian McCaffrey's running. And even though you got this big bad team that's in Seattle that's coming to town, and where on paper they got a better defense, on paper they can do certain things. But there's hope because these guys have banded together. These are a group of individuals, defensively, collectively, and everyone's saying, dude, if we play complementary football, and if we play together, and if we bond together, and we come out and we play as good as we play our type of ball, we got a chance to win this game. And that's why we expectations aren't tempered. That's why we're like saying, this is a game that's going to be tough. They're going to probably lose. We're not saying that because they believe. And we have to believe. So, yes, just because it looks gray and you look at papers and says, man, this is a game on paper, but you can't measure a man's heart on paper. You measure it by what you see. And what we've seen from this team thus far, it is surpassed both of our expectation. They have done it themselves, and it's been every man for himself, and it's them against the world. And they said, get rid of all the noise. I've been noise saying, hey, stay with Mac Jones. Keep Purdy on the bench. Let him just rest. I've been those noise. I've been a part of the noise. Everyone's been a part of the noise. But those guys that said, leave us alone. We understand. We're in this sandbox. And guess what? Nobody else can't come in this sandbox but us because we have taken it over. Now, guess what? And we're going to defend this house. And that's what I like, the way this Niner team is built. I like the way that they're talking. I like what Salah's doing defensively. I like what they're doing collectively. So they are in their sandbox, and they're not letting anybody in that sandbox. They're not letting anybody grab any of their sand. This team is hungry. You saw it last week, Ev. You saw it. You saw the way that they fought. You saw the way they scrapped. This team is hungry. And Seattle's hungry too. You got two hungry dogs, and a hungry dog hunts best.
Yes, it
Which
does.
dog is the hungriest?
And it's you bring up Hartlow. And it feels like every time someone has thought about the Niners being dead, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, they've got the defibrillators out, and they've just injected life back into this team. And that's why tonight Seattle's got the second best offense. They got the second best defense. They got the best scoring differential in football. Sam Darnold's thrown for 3,000 yards. Jackson Smith and Jacob is the number one wide receiver in terms of receiving yards in football. But when they get out there at Levi Stadium in 45 minutes, none of that matters. None of that matters. Because the San Francisco 49ers have proven that no matter, again, Caleb Williams on paper is supposed to be dangerous. The Bears are supposed to be a team that can run the football with the best of them. They got the two-headed monster. Some of these teams that they've faced, heck, they even go to a Cleveland team on the road in the rain against that type of Myles Garrett sort of defense, and they just take care of business.
Yep.
They are only focused on what's on their sideline. And the jerseys, yes, they're pretty. Seattle might be in some good-looking jerseys tonight. The Bears were looking fine on Sunday night. It doesn't matter who's got the other helmet on and what those colors are, because San Francisco, each and every week this season, can't speak for last season, can't speak for next season, they are playing the man in front of them, the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson.
Okay.
They're playing the man in the mirror, and that's why I think that they've never had a game low that this year. It's never felt like there's been a trap game for the Niners this season.
No.
There's never been a team that you've looked at and said, well, maybe they're overlooking them. You know, they got the Rams the week after. They got the Seahawks after the Bears. There's never been a trap game this week, this season for the Niners, and I think it's because they've gone week by week.
Yeah, and because they said, I'm starting with the man in the middle. I'm asking if he changed my ways.
That's a 5.
That's a 5.
That's a 5 of 5. That's a 5 of 5. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Thank you very much. No, but you make a very valid point. They start with themselves, and they look at themselves in the mirror, and they said, if it is to be, it's up to me, and no one else around us is going to make us. Ain't nothing going to break my stride. Ain't nothing going to slow me down. Oh, no, I got to keep on moving. So that's what the Niners are doing. They're moving forward. They're not breaking their stride. They're not listening to all the noise. And that's why they're winning, man, because they knew that everyone talked about how this Niner team doesn't have enough. And they realized if they played hard, they have to play hard every play because they know that they're not good enough to win games, blow teams out, so they have to play their best. And that's what they've done, and that's what they bought into, and that's why this is not a front-running team like Niners of yesterday years. No pun intended.
No, I'm with you, and that's why I wonder. Well, number one, are you trying to get ready for the halftime show? I mean, I know Bad Bunny's coming to Levi's Stadium, but I can make a call.
Make a call too. I might break it out. It's time for Load to enter the stage and maybe do a little, maybe even sing the national anthem. I think I'm ready. So maybe we should work on that.
I think we can make that try and happen over the course of these next few weeks. The San Francisco 49ers, obviously, they got a chance to be at Levi's Stadium too. And also, this is it, like, thinking about the Niners week to week, so much has changed this season for them. I feel like one of the advantage that Seattle has is they figured out very early the team that they wanted to be, that they are, and that they obviously are bringing to Levi's in 40 minutes. But the Niners sort of kind of jab that they have left is Seattle hasn't seen this version of them. I do feel like on tape, the Seahawks haven't really changed a whole lot over these 18 weeks. They've just been damn good. They've been very straightforward about what they do, who they are, and how they go out there and kick ass. The Niners, meanwhile, have been a team that have slowly developed and kind of built to this point to where I could absolutely see them winning this football game. And I think the fact that Seattle doesn't quite know what's going to happen once that ball kicks off, that could play in the Niners' favor.
I think that's a great analogy. I do look at this Seattle team as the Mike Tyson. They're going to just walk and hunt you down. They just want to go brawl. They want to beat you up. They're going to play physical. They're in your face. They're not going to stop. This is more the team like where Ali, what's my name? I got to jab you, boom, 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 a two-piece, got to move around. They're, boom, they're going to take a couple body blows and they're going to back up. The Niners are going to retreat. Then they, boom, get you with a two-piece. They're going to try to point you to death. They're not that team that's saying, okay, I'm going to go bully. Seattle wants to engulf you. Watch what they did to the Rams. They just said, okay, even though the Rams jumped, they just kept on pounding on the Rams. They're one of those teams that you can't knock them out. You just got to keep throwing blows, keep letting your hands go. Don't stop punching, because if you stop punching, that's when they just engulf you. That's when they start taking over. You got to keep punching. You got to keep moving on this team, because if you stop, that's when Seattle becomes more dominant. That's when they start playing. That's when you hit you in third and long. That's when you just, it's nothing you could do, because when they start going, that defense can hunt. That offense, they can spin the ball, they can run the ball, they can do a lot of things. And when they're firing on all cylinders, that's when they start to engulf your teams. So if you're the Niners, you got to keep in the game with that jab. You got to set them up and throw that hard straight right. You got to keep them honest. You got to say, look, okay, I'm jabbing you, but I got to throw something to keep you honest. I got to throw one down the middle. Hey, I got to have diddle kittle down the middle. Hey, I got to have Run MC get on a little wheel route and catch you. I got to stick you with a right hand to keep you honest, to keep you on, because if you don't and you just sit back and say, I'm just going to play bully ball with you, you can't beat them. You got to make sure you keep them honest, keep jabbing, keep moving, and every now and then you got to throw a haymaker to make them respect your run, to make them respect your play action.
And I do wonder if tonight might be a night where, I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe Kyle Shanahan, if the Niners win the toss, they take the ball. Because the one thing about the Niners this year is when they've won the first quarter, they've won the game. Think about the last couple times the Niners have been blasted. Against the Rams, they went down 14-0 early. Against the Texans, they just couldn't get anything going. And obviously both times Mac Jones is the quarterback in that game, but I do wonder if Brock Purdy is a kind of quarterback who, I don't know if he can bring them back from double digits. He did after throwing that pick six, and he responded very quickly, but that's because they're able to move the ball and outshoot Chicago. I think that this is the kind of game that if the Niners are going to win, obviously it's going to come down to the end. It's going to be I believe it's going to be a tight game, but the first quarter might be the most important part, because the only way that you were going to beat Tyson is if you got through the first round. Mm-hmm. The issue was not many people could get through the first round. So if you can survive that first haymaker, that first blow that Seattle is inevitably going to throw, I do like the Niners' chance in this game because, again, in the tight spots, that's where I feel like this team is able to thrive. And so I'm paying very close attention to how they come out of this football game. I'm not saying that they're going to take the ball and they want it and they're going to go down and score and stuff like that, but the first quarter is going to tell us a lot about how the end of this game is going to go.
It really will. This first quarter is going to dictate pace, going to dictate tempo, to dictate who's going to ride this storm and who's going to impose their will. This is about setting the tone, and that's what they're doing. Seattle wants to come out and say, look, we're here, we're going to go and maul you. That's why I'm saying you got to set the table. You watch great fighters. Boom, they come out there, bam, 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 just peppering the guy. They know that guy wants to get that big right hand. Like, I'm staying away from that right hand. Mm-hmm. Every time you get ready to throw that right, I'm going to jab you. I'm going to throw you off balance. And that's what the Niners are going to do. And how do they throw them off balance? Like, hey, it's 3rd and 3, and Niners are coming, bringing the blitz, bringing some pressure, or dropping back in zone because they think it's 3rd and 3. They think it's going to be man-to-man, tight coverage, and bam, now a linebacker drop underneath there and catch an interception. Those are those little things, those off-piece. I got to throw that jab. I'm going to get you off course. I'm going to throw you. And now you're going to play that cat and mouse. This game tonight is a cat and mouse game also with these coaching. Which coach is going to blink first? Which coach is going to figure out what's going on? Because you know these two coaches, they know each other. They're familiar with each other's offenses. You know they're going to be sitting on a lot of different things, baiting guys, wanting to bait Brock into throwing the ball into a window where they're going to have a spy going to that place. So this is going to be a chess match early in this game, this first quarter, like you're alluding to, and which team is going to blink first. Is Shanahan going to say, Brock, this is what they're going to give you. Don't throw it here. They're going to drop this and set, but this is what, when you stare at it here, but this is where this window is going to go. What team has made that adjustment to be able to hit with that hook or that big shot? Which team is going to set the table first? And that's what I can't wait to see, because this first quarter, both these teams are going to be trying to establish their dominance.
Yeah, and it felt like last week against the Bears, it was just bing, bang, boom. We got to move the ball down the field as quickly as possible. I think you're right. I think this game is more of a methodical build for both sides of, okay, well, how can we use play action to set up the run? How can we use the run to set up the deep shot? Quick hit here, small chip there. If it's 3rd and long, we don't have to be aggressive with the football because Seattle's a team that can turn you over. Sam Darnold is a quarterback that's going to give you opportunities. That's the thing about this, too, is though Seattle has been the best team in the NFL by scoring differential, Sam Darnold is a guy that's going to probably give you a turnover in this game. Brock Purdy has been a quarterback that even though he's thrown 10 total touchdowns the last 2 weeks, he's given up 2 turnovers. So which team can control the ball? Which team is smart about their opportunities to strike. Eddie Pinheiro is going to be big in this game. Sky Moore, who's provided the Niners the best starting field position on average in the NFL this year, is going to be big in this game. Same for Seattle. Jason Myers, Rashid Shaheed. They have to also allow special teams to play a factor in this football game because every yard, every point, even if it's 3, doesn't have to be 6, it's going to be massive by the end, of course, of what I believe is going to be a really good matchup between these two teams.
No, I could agree with you more. In field position, like you just alluded to, it's going to be a premium. And you can't turn the ball over and give Seattle a short field because it's hard for you to overcome that. You're the San Francisco 49ers with a young defense with guys that are playing good. They're playing well. It's not a great defense. Let's call it what it is. It's an average defense. It's an optimistic defense. It takes advantage of its opportunities and makes some things happen. But you can't afford to do those things tonight. Tonight you have to make sure you play solid football. Complimentary football is saying, okay, offense, on 4th down, punt the ball. Give me a great punt like you just alluded to. Okay, it's 3rd down. Don't turn the ball over and give Seattle a short field because I don't know if our defense is well enough or good enough to overcome those things. So you have to play mistake-free football. The self-inflicted wounds, you can't do that against a Seattle team because this team is not good enough to make those things and overcome those things. So that's what it's about tonight, Evan. I want to see if this team can overcome those things. Woo, what do we got here?
The Niners might be hot like these wings that are coming in. Oh, my goodness.
Got us some wings. Come down to Laughing Monk, guys. These wings here are legendary. I love it. They take care of us. Great care of us here. This is the best place. Woo. Wow.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing we got about a minute till this break because we got to dig in right before we get ready for this game. I mean, this is the setup right here. And, again, they are live. They are local. They are down here in Sunnyvale. If it's football, if it's your favorite sport, you want to come out and watch the Warriors, maybe your soccer, whatever you want, Laughing Monk has something for you. So, obviously, we hope the Niners get it done this week in about 30 minutes because we could come back here in 2 weeks. But
yes,
you got to get down to Laughing Monk Brewing. It is the spot to be. We have one more segment left on the other side. Lorenzo Neal, Evan Giddings, setting you up for the Niners and the Seahawks. Battle for the 1 seed, Week 18. They played all the way in Week 1.
Let's go!
17 weeks later, 4 months later, they are battling to see who wins the NFC West. It's just like old times, and we got our last segment coming up to get you ready for it when we come back. The kickoff show returns after this on 95.7 The Game.
Bang, bang!
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Hey, it's Willard for Underdog Fantasy. Football season is rolling toward the end. Christian McCaffrey is rolling towards some major stats. Let's get in on this, root for it, maybe make some money too. With Underdog Unwrapped, you're going to unwrap a bunch of promos going on right now, boosts, gimme picks, even some surprises sprinkled in. You should check it out because you can make picks and win money right now in California. Playing on Underdog is easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats, rushing yards, receiving yards with CMC. You get the idea. So play with me, download the Underdog app, and use my promo code Willard to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, the promo code is Willard. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or over and present in California. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or go online at ncpgambling.org.
It's the RV Mega Show and Sale, January 2nd through 11th at Cordelia RV Center. All 2025 models must go. All reasonable offers considered. Family-owned, top brands, and the best deals of the year. CordeliaRV.com. We do business with a handshake.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Larry Flick, owner of The Floor Store. When the year ends, the savings begin with our New Year's clearance sale. Now through January 12th, get up to 50% off store-wide on carpet, hardwood, laminate, waterproof flooring, and much more. Plus 2 years interest-free financing, and we pay your sales tax. All those savings add up to one thing. A Happy New Year from The Floor Store. Go to floorstores.com to find the nearest of our 11 showrooms from Santa Rosa to San Jose. The Floor Store, your Bay Area flooring authority.
Tune in for Warriors Live today, presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-939-1441. That's 800-939-1441.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Google of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Now back to the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
We are live here at Laughing Monk Brewing, about 30 minutes away from kickoff. Just a couple more minutes left here. I mean, you've seen the damage we've done on the table.
That was quick.
I mean, hopefully the damage that Christian McCaffrey is going to do in this first half against Seattle. This right here, the lemon pepper is the Seattle defense.
Oh, yeah.
And Lorenzo Neal is the Niners offense. I mean,
it's going down. These wings are going down. We're tearing them up.
Yeah.
I got you set up, sister.
Oh, yeah.
I got you set up with some great wings there. We went through them.
Jesse, Allie.
Jesse and Allie, Sammy here on the turn. It's this, man, it's going down. It's going down. Everyone's fired up. Everyone's in their Niners gear. Place is rocking, kind of cooling out. Everyone jumped on the buses, getting towed over to the stadium. Free bus ride over. Getting ready for this big game. Watching a little TV right now, watching the Niners. What do you like those unis?
The All Blacks.
The All Blacks.
The All Blacks. And see, this is it too. See, because the people here that are staying that are going to watch the game, this is kind of the calm before the storm, right? Everyone's all hyped for the game. Everyone's ratcheted it up. They're throwing they're throwing drinks back. They're throwing wings back. They're having a great time. And now they finally realize, oh my gosh, it's 25 minutes before kickoff.
Right.
It's about time to go. The Niners are walking out onto that Levi Stadium turf. No Trent Williams, but Kittle's out there in the all-black uniforms. They got the old school lettering. They got the old school numbers. They're gold-blooded. They're ready to rock, and everybody begins to settle in a little bit. This is when it gets fun.
Bro, these unis are so sick. The gold crested around the face mask, got the gold on it. It looks really sick. These Niners uni tonight are, man, if you play as half as good as your uni, this game should get ugly. It should turn into a bloodbath. You see the big fella Trent clapping guys on. He's clapping his hands. He's cheerleading today. He's fired up. You know he wants to be out there on that field. This is what it's about, man. This is what it's about. You're talking about a playoff atmosphere. You're at home. You're at Levi's. Your fans are there. The stadium is going to be rocking. All you got to do, if you win, you have home field playoffs throughout the playoffs. The Super Bowl, the road to the Super Bowl will come through Levi's. Now we got a good shot of John Lynch. I remember me and that fella used to go at it, have some battles there. John's on the field, clapping it up, giving his guys high fives, saying, hey, boys, let's go. And that's what it's about tonight, man. And you can just feel the energy at that stadium. We're not even there, just watching it on the TV here, knowing that, man, the stakes are high, Evan, tonight. The stakes are very high.
They're the highest they've been all season. It's been such a fun season. It's been such an amazing season in an unpredictable season. A season in which the Niners have had to prove themselves every single week. And I haven't had a chance to cover as many football years as you have. I obviously haven't played at nearly the level that you have. But what the Niners have done, it's special. It is special. And that's why I do want them to win this game and prove that they're the best in the West, because they've earned the right to be in this game when no one, perhaps even people in that locker room, felt like they deserved to be at certain points throughout this year. The backup quarterbacks, Bosa going out for the season, Warner going out for the season. He might actually have a chance to return if they eventually punch their ticket to the second round of the playoffs. But the whole point is the Niners have, on the heels of a season that was just thrown away and people left them for dead, they reminded everyone why this team is a group that 3 out of the last 4 years has been to the NFC Championship game. When they get in, they're a team to be feared. And while this group has been underdogs for the majority of the season, you can tell, even just watching the screen right now and the way that they're out on that Levi Stadium turf, Seattle's feeling them right now. Seattle knows that they have to come to play, because even though they're the one seed, they're on the road. This ain't their house.
Hey, it's 35 minutes before kickoff, but the game starts at 5:15, right? Or 5
o'clock.
5 o'clock. So you have to realize the stadium, we're looking at this, we're at the TV, looking at the TV right now. Stadium's almost darn near full. Look at all the people that's already in the stadium. They understand how big this game is. Usually people pile in right before the kickoff. You look inside the stadium, people already in the stadium. You just look at the energy. You watch McCaffrey, you're just watching guys that clap. Energy's high. Both these teams' energy is high. Both these two teams are going to play. We're going to see a good ball game tonight, Evan. I can tell you, like last week, we know we got to see a good ball game. Tonight is no exception to the rule. We're going to see a great football game tonight because there's so much at stake, and both these two teams have a lot riding on it. This is going to be a great game tonight.
And it's going to be a good game in a different way. It's not going to be the flashy, we got to score 40. Brock Purdy throw 350 and 5 total touchdowns. Caleb Williams are running and gunning. To me, this is going to be one of those classic football games where you meet at the line of scrimmage every single play. And you talked about it last week, you got to come back 60 times. Every single play, you got to bring it, or the man across from you is going to wear you down. And we're going to find out who bends, who breaks, because these two teams, I mean, they get it on when they come together and stuff is on the line. Seattle has always been that gritty group from the rainy Pacific Northwest, and rain's going to be in Santa Clara in just about an hour and a half. We're going to see the Niners and the Seahawks do damage in the first quarter, and then the rain's going to start to fall, and then precipitation is going to change the game plan. Right. Teams are going to have to adjust, and it's going to be about who wants it more. So this is a football. This is true football right here. I'm telling you,
man,
January when the the calendar turns,
Right.
the boys turn to men.
Gosh.
And the San Francisco 49ers have proven that they deserve to be at a table with the men that are the Seattle Seahawks.
Brother, it's here, man. It's last week we were talking about this. You and I texting after the game frantically, talking about how big of a win that was. And did you watch Purdy? You seen that? And then tonight, now we're witnessing history again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to see two teams that are both fighting for it to be home field at their prospective place. Two teams that have earned the right. Look at this. This is the end of the year, and the last game of the season means who is going to host home field throughout the playoffs. This is what the NFL is all about. That's why this is the best game in the world. That's why this is the best game in football, because who would have thought that the Niners in Seattle will be playing to be seeing who is going to be the number one seed in the NFC. This game couldn't be any bigger than tonight.
Everyone thought coming into the year that the NFC West was the Rams. They were the team that almost got to the Super Bowl last year. They were the team that came in as the perennial favorites. And right now, they're the team in the back seat looking up at San Francisco and Seattle and saying, damn, those teams are playing for the 1 seed tonight. Now, as we have 5 minutes left here, again, Lorenzo Neal, Evan Giddings, Laughing Monk Brewing. I don't know if I can give a prediction about this game because these teams have been so unbettable as far as I can't bet against Seattle. I can't bet against San Francisco. They're the two hottest teams in the NFC. They're division rivals. The head coaching clash. Purdy versus Darnold. The former pupil against the student. Christian McCaffrey against the two-headed monster. There's so many storylines that are bringing this game to life. I don't know if I can bet against any team, but to you, Lorenzo Neal, what does this game come down to in terms of who decides what?
Yeah, to me it's very simple. The team that wins the turnover battle wins this game. First team with 110 yards rushing wins this football game. This is a game that you have to win. I understand Seattle's got it. Looks like they got a better rushing offense, but we'll see. I think you're going to see the Niners fly around and play good football. They're going to clog up some running lanes. Seattle's running backs, they want to pick their way through. They take their time running. They let their linemen create blocks. The linemen, they're downfield. They block downfield. They do a great job of playing low and getting after it. This is going to be a very, very physical game, and I think, team to 24. I don't think you're going to see a shootout like last week. I think you'll see a little bit better defense. Both these teams, they're going to fill each other out. But Seattle, man, it's hard to slow them down. They just go. They can just continue to score. You gotta be able to match their intensity. It's going to be a great game. I think this game's like 24-21. Hopefully the Niners can come out on top, but they got to play. They got to rally. They can't turn the ball over, and it's about bend but don't break. Time of possession is going to be crucial tonight.
They won the first matchup in Seattle 17-13. To me, I'm with you. I think the first team to 20 wins this football game. The defenses are going to have to keep the opposition in check. The offenses are going to have to control the ball. We'll see if the Niners are going to put us right back here at Laughing Monk Brewing in 2 weeks, because if they win this football game, they are the 1 seed. All right, thank you to everybody who has tuned in, who is here at Laughing Monk Brewing, creating such an amazing atmosphere. Our guy Sam, a.k.a. Meek Mill, in the house, producing this bad boy for us. Jesse, Allie, everyone making it such a special evening. 3 hours, the build to the game that is for the 1 seed to begin 2026. Hopefully begins the same way that it ended in 2025. The Niners riding a 6-game win streak. The Seattle Seahawks riding an even longer win streak. Going into this matchup, bidding for the NFC West and a chance to host en route to a Super Bowl that will be here at Levi's Stadium. So for my guy Lorenzo Neal, my name is Evan Giddings, saying so long on the kickoff show from Laughing Monk Brewing. Hopefully we'll talk to you here in 2 weeks. If not, we'll talk to you next week, because the Niners are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, and we'll find out when, we'll find out where, and we'll find out all after they play the Seahawks on Saturday Night Football. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time on the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
Bang, bang!
Thinking about selling your house but hesitant to move during the holidays? Imagine finalizing your sale now, enjoying the holidays, and move later. Call Wedgwood Homes to discuss your options. Do you want to downsize, relocate, or selling an inherited property? Does your house need repairs or updates?